We were all over some of these small caps. Let's just take a quick look over here at which ones are running. Then we're going to send you to the boys. It really is still the TWWG show, despite the fact that this one just dropped off 22.75 into 18. It's still trying to hold the 10 EMA. This one's a monster. It's up 213%. It really got going at around 12.30, 12.45. Keep your eye out on that one. And WVE, I mean, you know, it didn't rocket up through 18 and 19 like we were hoping, but it's been holding 17 quite well since about 20 after 12. It's got a bit of a resistance level here at 17 3/4, but holding up nonetheless, guys. All right, it's been real. I'm going to send you over to the big boys. I'll see everybody shortly at the big desk.
Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you, Sharif, for that. What a great midday show it was indeed. And yeah, the market just keeps on dripping. I mean, I don't know if we get out of this short or what, but we've been covering. We reloaded the short right there. Market looks like it wants to get to the downside. And I just tweeted it out right now that we're just 2 days away now from the Fed, right? And so Fed 2 days from now, so not tomorrow, Wednesday at this time, we'll have the announcement, which looking like, obviously, I mean, we've probably just covered this throughout the whole morning, of course, as we did as well. But this is the market moving event that we're all waiting for now. Whether or not it's going to move the markets, we'll tend to see. But for right now, it's a 90% chance. And we got the news that, you know, for all of next year, right, we're only expecting 75 basis points. And that's exactly what this is right now, 30% chance. If we move out 1 year to December 9th of 26, so it's December 10th this year, December 9th next year, and it looks like there's just a 30% chance that we are 3/4 down from where we are now. Maybe we are 1 full point down. But, you know, this was the change that happened earlier on this morning, where all of a sudden it was only talked about 75 basis point cut this year. So that's been a little bit weighing on this market, I feel like. I mean, we were net short pretty much this whole move. We were long early on the futures because that's what we had thought about as the market opened up pretty high today, and it just fell back in right into our lap into Friday's levels, and I couldn't really find any negative stories to start with. And then all of a sudden, I feel like that little announcement there on that rate expectation sort of created all this hoopla here. So now we're starting to get a little bit lower. I could see us closing a lot lower than where we are right now, and we'll be discussing that as we go. But yeah, so far so good. It was a good day at the gym. It's very, very cold out, but I like this kind of weather, man. It's not breezy. Well, I think that's key. Like right now, I mean, the wind was bad this morning, but right now it's only -5.
I think the wind was that bad.
Remember, it was -12. You said that it was -18.
When I went out, I was sort of reading I have like the news on in the morning that I kind of half listen to when I'm going through like mobility stuff and stretching I do in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I have like it's called CP24 is like a local thing. It has the weather up there. And it said, okay, we're going to be -8 and then -18 with the wind chill. So I'm prepared. I'm all geared up. But then I went out and I was waiting for my train. I don't stand very long on the platform, but everyone's huddled in the enclosures. And I'm like, I don't feel any wind. Everyone's freaking out about it. It doesn't feel all that bad. So, and I feel like in the morning sometimes like that, like a little bit of cold, it kind of like wakes you up, invigorating, and I like getting that fresh air. But unfortunately, you know, the fresh air of this NVIDIA story, which if you were tuning in, well, you guys were all tuning in to the midday, assuming, right? Like, story being that, okay, you're going to be able to sell to China, great. Well, we've pretty much given up the entirety of the move. So NVIDIA did this, it was just before 1 o'clock, breaking out 183.5, got all the way to 188, and we're pretty much right back to square one. Now, I waited for a couple of shots. Well, I was in a few other things, but I waited for a couple of shots for SMCI to curl, and then if it bounces now, I'm looking at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's at that 183.5 area. If that bounces, I'm trailing out of this in front of VWAP. So my trail's at VWAP, otherwise I'll try to let this one get to the low of the day. But it's a full circle move for the chip names that bounced on that China story. And obviously, I think it's...
What did Baba do?
You can think of it a couple of ways here. Like part of it could just be, all right, you know, this is an old chip. China doesn't want it anyways. The market was overreacting in the first place. Like that's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it, of course, could be a little bit more pessimistic that the market's looking to take profits wherever it can. Either way, that's just two different ways of describing the obvious price action. Like you're getting a positive story for the chips in theory, and they're not really holding on to any of those gains. So I think it's sort of a little bit of an issue here for NVIDIA in the short run. And then AMD, of course, as well. AMD with a big spike on that headline, and it's given back the entirety of the move. So hopefully there's going to be a lot that you guys are interested in, letting us know what you want to trade. That's what we're going to do with the rundown, and then we'll see what happens with this market. But it feels like another one of those afternoons that if you're looking for anything long, you might want to have your hot list and scanner up there for some small cappers. Not that I see any on here, because the market does not want to be a buy. Sharif.
No, I think Sharif is still.
Oh, he's not ready? Okay.
There he is. Ready, yeah. But no, this market, I mean, we sniffed that out many moons ago that this market did not want to be a buy. So hence why we are right there. So there it is, man. I use the TQQs. I mean, I could use the Qs. This is what the NASDAQ looks like for those of you that are, wondering like, okay, why are we not trading the NASDAQ? It just looks a little different. It's a different blotter. NUZ, right? Yeah. So it's just trades in the quarters, of course, as the futures go down. And it's the same thing. I mean, I still would have short, like they're literally the exact same chart right there. But there it is, goes down. Oh, good. I didn't even realize Eli Lilly was declaring dividends these days. And there goes Eli Lilly declaring a nice little $1 and change, they just said, per share. So that's nothing, but Eli Lilly declaring a dividend right here today. They're getting hit, actually, pretty nicely. Eli Lilly, look at this, man. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, I didn't... did not realize this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight down days. Eli Lilly actually almost in bear territory right here from 1120 all the way down to 980 right now. So or was it 990? 990. Eli Lilly there off about $150 from its highs right there, close to 10% lower. Of course, you need to be 20% lower before we start talking bearish territories. All right, because we're going to do this, and if you guys are short with me right here, I'm going to use the 50-period moving average. Generally speaking, we'll cover all the way down, and that's honestly, that's exactly what we did. This is actually a pretty big banger of a trade. Shout out to Sebastian right over there. We hit this. I just say that because the money cow. I don't even know if Sebastian's here. But this came right back into a level here that we were like, we should short this. Unfortunately, I wasn't here. I spent a little bit longer there today at the gym, whatever, and I didn't leave till about 11:30. So when we came back, you could tell when I came back. And then all of a sudden, all the way to the downside, takes him out at the 50-period moving average, takes him out at past, resistance and/or support in this situation. And then we break lower now on the TQs. And look, this is why we're starting to cover right into here. If we get that next move down, then the next area for me, 55 change, which is flat, which we almost got anyways. That's 55. And then the very lows today, if we can target 54.80 or so on this TQ trade, then I think that's about good enough. So I right now am bidding 55.10, where I just showed you, and then below, 54.60. So exactly sort of the trade that I want is now planned and locked and loaded and excited to move forward. So, all right. I think Sharif is ready, and we do have our rundown, obviously, to go through right now, where we talk about all the names that you guys want us to focus on.
Like NVIDIA.
So the first name will probably be NVIDIA, then maybe Wave, and then we'll see what's going on next. These guys still have no idea why we know everything.
Yeah.
Sharif knows. All right, man, what's up, dog? Yeah, we did short Dog. We did short that in the TQ. So we're going to wait to see if there's any follow through on it. All right, Sharif, let's go. Stock number 1, it's on you.
Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, everyone, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys, they are locked and they are loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get your tickers on the Afternoon Rundown is to get into the chat and vote for your favorite ticker every day. You got to throw in that $sign, though, followed, of course, by whatever ticker your heart so desires. Let's look at all 4 major averages, and unlike the morning when we first spoke at this desk, all 4 major averages now in negative territory, starting off with the NQ trading below 25,600, down 0.56. Similar look here with the ES down 0.54. So very, very similar trades between the NQ and the ES today, with the Dow not too dissimilar as well, down 0.61, trading below 47,800, trying to hold on to 700 here as we speak. Last but not least, the best performing major average on the day, but negative nonetheless, is the Russell 2000, down 0.5% on the day. NVIDIA as Sean mentioned, the #1 name as decided by you guys. And it's moving higher here, up 0.92 after the U.S. administration said they may allow the exports of the H200 AI chip to China.
Yes, sir. And just very quickly, for Alien Labs in the chat, that is on Wednesday, if you are curious. We are going to get a rate cut, and that will be on Wednesday when they have their policy meeting. It's always like a, it's an event, it's a couple-day event, but it's really about 2 o'clock getting what we expect, and then 2:30 on Wednesday, we'll get some comments from the soon-to-be ex-Fed chair, Jerome Powell. He probably won't comment on that. Maybe he will.
He might.
I kind of feel like someone might ask him a question about it. He'll find a good way to skirt.
It's like, what's the date of your book you're going to publish and all that kind of stuff.
How much money do you make per speech?
Yep.
When you're done.
Check out the Clintons' notes for that one.
Oh, well, okay, first of all, the Clintons, when it comes to like post.
I think even their kid wrote a book.
No, it's just they roll way deeper in terms of writing books and public appearance speeches compared to what a Fed chair can get. Trust me, they know how to.
I didn't even read that book.
The only book I've read on the Clintons wasn't written by them. It was written by like a. You know what? I shouldn't. People get mad if you say it's a really good book by Christopher Hitchens. I'll just leave it at that. NVIDIA. Back to NVIDIA before I get myself in trouble. NVIDIA. I think you got hoodwinked. You got bamboozled. Whatever other word you want to use here, unfortunately, on that the China headline, you're going all the way back to square one. Maybe a chance that we could hold on to this like 183 half area, at least for now. But what happened? We popped right to the 50 period on the daily, and this has been the stock's been a chop fest since pulling back. Like, look at all this mess. Like, it's not really very clean on any given day. And then almost every single breakout has been rejected. Like, there's a breakout, rejection. Looks like we have another breakout and rejection. And when we get the breakout rejection on NVIDIA, it's like somewhere the prior resistance ends up holding. So we'll see what that ends up being today. But wherever that is, I'm going to think a little bit bearish. Today I was thinking more bearish on AMD. And obviously the NVIDIA news changed the way that was going. Because when it came in at lunchtime, and thank goodness, that's all I will say is, I missed VWAP here because, sort of after we do the morning show and all that stuff. But then it comes right back in on that headline and thankfully wasn't trying to short it off VWAP. But now it is underneath VWAP, and we get the VWAP on AMD. I'm going to want to short that one again, and Intel as well. But yeah, a bit of bamboozlement there for NVIDIA, not really holding on to gains. It's just an excuse for some people to continue to take some profits. It's still in that leveling off mode, unfortunately, for NVIDIA.
All right, the stock was NVIDIA. Okay, yeah, let's just have a quick look. I mean, I think that 180 is going to make us sick, right? The fact that we don't have that 180, but that's okay. We can't have them all, but we should have that. So this 180 long, it's just, I remember that one day we wrote down 178 to 180, and those have been like just great holds. There's been dip down opportunities for sure, but I really like this area on NVIDIA. I mean, this goes all the way back, move the coffee cup here, back into the 26. So we do have one move down, but I think this is a long if we ever get back into this area. That's 179 and change here for NVDA. So again, like I like the stock. I think it's a good stock down here to get going. I mean, the fact that it went to 188 today, oh wow, what a move right there midday. So Neil just covered some of that, but pull back in here. I think we buy this dip. The fact is I'm short the futures, so it's kind of like, all right, what are we going to do here? But yeah, I like the trade here. Short right now for NVIDIA. Would have worked 10 minutes ago. I don't know if it's going to work now. Right back into some support. Let's see if this market can catch a bid. Like I said, I'm pretty biased here, holding on to what I'm holding on to. But I could really see NVIDIA start to go back up. 200 period, VWAP 50, maybe a test of 185.50 or so coming. But I'm holding short. So for me, great move. It just shows you the power that this stock does have on news, right? This is now a news-based stock, whether you like it or not. It's just going to have to wait for more China news there. And if it gets that positive reaction, this is what we can do. Remember, though, all-time high is still well above $200. So you're well off here, and it kind of sucks to be holding the bag here on NVIDIA, especially if you got excited off of their earnings report. But we have Micron coming in 9 days, so hopefully they'll be able to justify some of the spend that's going here in the chip space and give a good guide. So maybe that will help some NVIDIA story there. But no, I mean, Google eating their lunch a little bit with those TPUs. Let's just see how efficient those are exactly, and if that does create a big switch. But if we're talking robotics and we're talking all this stuff, man, the best chips are going to win out, and I still think that that's held over here in NVIDIA. Yeah, go NVIDIA. I think there's more room to the upside here on this name.
All right, guys, WVE, Wave Life Sciences, up 138.33%, but a little bit below the high of the day, 1880. It's trying to break above 18 now. We were involved in this one on the midday, and here's why it's moving. Their obesity drug showed promising phase 1 results. A single dose of 240 milligrams led to almost a 9.5% reduction in visceral fat, some of the toughest fat to remove, as well as 4.5% total fat loss and 3.2% lean muscle gain after 3 months, guys. So WVE here looking about to break 18 bucks.
I feel like with this one,
Good story, maybe?
yeah, Whitley, should have paid more attention to like the nature of the headline. Like a lot of times you look at these biofarms, it's like yada, 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 biofarm. And I don't understand, and whatever, most 99.9% of the people that read these press releases on a biopharma stock are gonna be like, I have no idea what's going on here, which is fine. That being said, the second you heard GLP with the low float and it was breaking out, that somehow, sometimes it just makes it built differently. That's all I'll leave it at that. But just like we always talk about when we bring up these names in the afternoon, first of all, this one is actually good. It's still above VWAP and trending higher, which is incredibly different from most of the times we review these. Most of the times we're saying how this is done for the day and good luck. I hope it can hold on to X level and then it'll still be closing somewhat bullish. This is clearly still in a very bullish move, but it still doesn't mean you're not better off in the pre-market for these. When we came on at 8 o'clock, it was in a somewhat of a pullback, and then this VWAP happened, and look how quickly this broke away from VWAP at 820. Like if you were laser focused on this as it's breaking VWAP, like that's your in, because at least you're long here with risk to there. You know, that's like 1050 to risk to 980. And on one move, it goes up to like $14. When it starts stretching itself out a little bit, it's a little bit more difficult to work into. But yeah, I think in the right space with a good headline and the volume, this is impressive. Like it's on over 100 million shares of volume and it's still near the highs, near the end of the day. So I wouldn't necessarily, like unless this closes underneath 16 bucks, this one might have a little bit of legs, but I'd be all over ringing the register if it was me. Will not touch this with a 10-foot pole shorting. I'm not even considering paying for locates here, for trend breaks or anything like that. And I don't even think you can get VWAP at this point. So there's not much for a trade except to say for those that were in this one in the pre-market, this is why you look at like 8 a.m. in the morning and why we're coming on early, because that was your chance right in here. Clean VWAP break. It has not even gotten within $1 of VWAP since.
Yeah, no, good look on that one. I wanted to give an update on the brigade over here. Like, you know, BBAI just again, like came into that 7 to 720 marker and now is falling back in again. So down 4%. I saw some people in the chat talking about this. I just, for me, it's the same story, man. We're still long here at $4, waiting to see what the next actionable trade is going to be down here, potentially at the 200 period moving average on your daily chart. So I don't want to be surprised or anything if Big Bear AI comes back in and prints this $5.50 to $5 area. I think this is the next buy zone for them, and then we'll just see if the pattern remains, right? Like you can, if I zoom this back out, you'll see the 200 period actually down into here as well, and that's the pattern I'm talking about. It's just this, so it's bouncing off. Ever since we broke it, we haven't really been underneath the 200 period at all here for BBAI. So this is why I continue to support the name, and I like the stock here at these levels. So, you know, bounce down below here. This is when we got involved. Came back in, bounced again, came back in, bounced again. So we're going to give it another shot down here for Big Bear AI. So just want to talk about that one quickly. If that breaks through $5, then maybe you can get out. But I look more at this 450 area to think about where there could be a problem, because that would be the first legitimate break and hold underneath your vaunted 200 period moving average. That's a little bit of a talk there on BBAI. As the show goes on, we'll talk about Open Door and some of those other plays that I know are pretty popular for many right there. SoFi starting to go back up as well. 7 today. Okay, what's the next stock? Nobody knows until we throw it over to Sharif.
I know.
Netflix, guys. When asked on the weekend, President Trump said Netflix takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery could be a problem. And he said that they will have to go through the process, possibly signaling at more scrutiny. But we got more information today that Paramount, they're not taking this lying down. They're, in fact, getting ready a hostile bid here to take it directly to shareholders, circumventing the board. And they're outbidding Netflix by a substantial amount. $108.4 billion is what the total offer will be versus the competing Netflix bid, which is about $72 billion. Separately, when asked, Netflix CEO said, look, the Paramount Skydance bid for WBD here was entirely expected, so you feel like they were alive to this issue as well. Netflix down 4%.
Tell you guys about BTCC, so check them out. Catch our link in description, because if you're digging into exchanges, you'll stumble across BTCC. They're a top 30 globally exchange, and here's the wild part. BTCC has never been hacked. While major exchanges keep getting hit, BTCC stays untouched. There is zero KYC if you're in the United States, Canada, or Europe. Trade through Trader TV and get 100 USDT for registering, plus 15% bonus that covers your losses up to 15,000 USDT. Again, if I'm not missing anything, are you? Double check, do your own due diligence, scan that QR code right there, and go check out BTCC. As crypto today is about 90 and change right here. We will go over some iBit real quick, but yeah, okay, nothing going on there. Look, I mean, as far as Netflix is concerned, like I don't, just as a shareholder, fine. I'm not heavy in this name and actually looking to sort of spread out a little bit on this name. So if we can get some love for this, then I think we'll sit in here and buy it. I'm just waiting for everything to settle down. I just feel it's a little immature, obviously, to sit around and try to predict, what exactly President Trump's going to do here, what, if it gets approved, if there's a higher bid involved or not. Today, PSKY came out, Paramount Skydance came out and said, hey, we'll up our bid there and give you some 30 cash. How does cash sound? And they were like, straight cash, homie? That's not bad. And then it went all the way. This is like word for word what they were talking about, right? Straight cash, homie?
It is.
Yeah, it is. So they're like, okay, we'll take it. That's up 7.5%. So Warner Brothers shareholders are like, all right, man, this is Looney Tunes these days, all these bidding. And it just had that huge run up early. And that's when the news sort of came out that, hey, maybe we do got a little bit more money for you. And since then, it has faded back out. But it's either 30 cash, which means that this 27 is not great, or you go ahead and you sort of take what Netflix was talking about, $23 to $24 in cash, plus a couple riders there on your stock. So you're going to get $4 or $5 worth of stock there, putting the value in and around this 28. So you're getting pretty close right now to solving all of this. But as our amazing thumbnails will tell you over today, is that Trump is still humming and hawing over all of this. And you know how he likes to get all muddled up in this kind of talk. So we'll just see. And apparently, what is it? Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, there is involved with something about Paramount and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it might be maybe a tough road to hoe here for Netflix, but if anybody's got it, I think Netflix can figure it out.
I think so. But
$6 billion breakup fee.
It's like you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. So what do you like? What is the market telling us here? Netflix, because of the price tag, we're going to sell you off. And then when the bid gets raised and there's a bidding war, it's dropping more. Is that because, is there an assumption that Netflix is just going to raise their bid? Like, why is that? Like, that doesn't necessarily have to be a lock. Like, it's just because another bid came in higher, they don't have to raise their bid. So I get the feeling that if Netflix, if their response, which there hasn't been one yet, if their response is, we are not bidding anymore, then I think Netflix is going to shoot higher. But that's a bit of a gut feel. At this point, I think you're just waiting for a response from Netflix to see what their next move is going to be. And ultimately, only they know. Because if they do up their bid, I think the market said, we don't want this. If there's a bidding war, what are you doing? That's what the market is telling you on Netflix. So there might be, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is not split adjusted. Sorry. Let me just go to my e-signal. I should have already been there.
There's $92 or so.
Yeah, I just want to go to a weekly chart. Like, if this drops any further, like, there's lots of great places, I think, to pick this one up. But if they're still getting punished, I think, Like I like it. I like the 80s when I look at the weekly chart here on Netflix. I'm not saying it's down there, but if they raise their bid and they really start to pummel these guys, I think starting in here in the 80s is going to make sense for Netflix. So usually, at some point within the next couple of days, they're going to let you guys know or let the market know what their intentions are with regards to their bid. They could stay or they could raise it. It's pretty much that simple. And I'd expect something in the next couple of days. The patience until then, because the market doesn't like them.
Semtrex, guys, CETX up 142%, but substantially below the area highs that we were at in the pre-market. Take a look at that 6 a.m. top into $20.50. We're trading at about $7.50 now and still up 142% on the day. The last headline that I could find for Semtrex was on the 20th of November when they agreed to acquire Invocon for about $7.06 million. That is expected to close on the 1st of January of next year. Separately here, guys, I see a short float percentage of around 13 to 14.5%. CETX trading at 7.5.
These ones always make me wonder, and maybe you guys know the answer to this question. When you have something which the news is old and there isn't a catalyst specifically today, yet when we sit down, like by the time we even came on, we came on at like 8 o'clock, right? So where the heck is this thing by the time? By the time it gets to 8 o'clock, like this is already down at $11 after having touched 20. Like it's bounced and failed VWAP. Like it's all over at that point. So is it just online garbage discords or whatever it might be that are talking this up? We're like, oh, there was this good news on this stock and it's going, and then you get a bunch of like early morning exit liquidity on the way back in. Like why? And first, like not just why would anyone be buying it up here? Like maybe when it did have its prior news, what was it, the 20th? I think Sharif said. Doesn't even look like it did much on the 20th. Yeah, like it barely even did anything on the 20th. So like maybe someone scares it up. Just be very careful with that. Because it was all exit liquidity. And there was one chance for a good long at $10. And then it was all the way back in. Now, every now and then you'll have a story. Like, see, when we were talking about that WVE, like they had that, they had positive news. It ends up being GLP. So when it violated the rules of being underneath VWAP, it was able to buy back above it and break out. This one just never did. When it was done, it was just done, and it was a short, an expensive one here if you're at Real Trading, because you couldn't have shorted it for free. But be careful. I'm guessing. I don't know if this was like one of those online pump and dumps. I don't know. But without there being any story, that's my assumption. And they can be really dangerous for you, because it's an old play. And I was a penny stock trader when I started out, and back before there was like social media, which has made it like out of control, some of these things. Before then, like you would get these stocks that would just start going out of nowhere, and it would just be a couple of people pumping them, and they would use, like the late buyers in the morning as their exit liquidity. And I feel like this was exactly one of those. So if it doesn't have a catalyst, be real careful with it. To me, I'd rather not trade one of these than sit there and just be bag holding for the rest of the day.
Sentex, yeah, I didn't, I haven't looked at that at all. I'm just trying to right now decide what to do. I mean, just a quick update on these futures. It's been about 10 minutes or so since we talked about them. Right now, an out rate here and debating. Again, we talked about potentially getting out if we break through this 40 level. So that's going to be an area that I just put the trigger in right now, above 40 to get out of. Now a quarter of what we had left, but we did get another bid right there at 30. So I'm going to see if we can still get in. I mean, I'm still bidding here 23s. So if we get 10 cents lower, we may have an opportunity here for these TQs to come back in and get out right there. But yeah, lots of stuff going on here. More news. Charlie Gasparino, once Derek gets back in, he's talking more about this Netflix deal right here. So he's the guy that's been breaking sort of that Paramount has been talking about it. Sharif's got this story, but I'm going to throw it back to him. And if you wanted to mention what that was there, Sharif, that's all good.
Yeah, Zaslav here saying he sees an agreement in which Ellison's raised their bid enough to cover the $2.8 billion breakup fee that WBD would face if it walks away from the Netflix deal, according to people with direct knowledge of the matter being reported by the New York Post, guys. So Zaslav sees an agreement in which the Ellisons raised their bid enough to cover the $2.8 billion breakup fee that would Warner Brothers Discovery would be on the hook for. Lastly here, SoFi, guys, trading down 0.75%. There was a notable change in the open interest on Friday. About $69.1 million contracts resulted in a net open interest growth of 10.4 million calls and 11.8 million puts. This is all after on the 4th of December, SoFi announced that they were issuing an offering of $1.5 billion priced at $27.50 per share to raise money for general corporate purposes.
And before we get to that, everybody, just want to remind you that when seconds count, you don't have time to just wait to treat symptoms. NYSE-listed Oragenics, OGEN, they're rewriting the rules of neurological care. They're looking to develop the first FDA-approved treatment for concussions. Book a meeting with their team today. You can scan the QR code that will be on screen or link in description as well. And when I'm watching NFL on Sundays, well, Monday too. Also sometimes on Thursday Night Football.
What is it tonight?
I don't even.
I know there's nothing happening.
This is killing me because I actually have no idea. I
I
legit have no idea what the Monday night game is. I just blanked on it myself.
Oh, it's Chargers somebody because I know Herbert hasn't gone yet. And by the way, shout out to Shadur. I mean, I finally started him. 35 points. What, you're mad that he wasn't on in the 2-point conversion?
Okay, so I have.
No, but they did. But they went for the 2-point conversion earlier. Apparently, I was away snowboarding or whatever with my son, and I didn't see any of it. So go ahead.
All I'm gonna say is this. I have the utmost and genuine empathy for Cleveland Brown fans.
Because you're a Bills fan.
Well, it's just for an organization to find ways to lose. You essentially here you have this quarterback who everyone has written off, who you guys even said the owner didn't even want to draft him. Dude has the game of his life.
Third string,
whatever. Fourth string when he was drafted. He was a fourth-string quarterback, actually. Comes and engineers an unbelievable comeback, and then you go out there in the 2-point after he's just balled out, and you pull him for a trick play with the running back in a wildcat, and then this dude just.
I don't know what that
I don't even know what the heck
the
they were
ball
doing.
around like
It's almost as if. Like word came down, we can't have Shador win this game.
Nah.
I don't look, man. It bugs me to all.
I mean, they're not going to win. Like they're still going to get a high draft pick. They got to draft an O-lineman. They have Judkins now. They have him. They have a couple good young wide receivers. I actually like Cleveland. I think.
No, I
think
love
the future is bright over there.
I love what they've. I love.
I mean, are you sure about that?
Fannin is an unbelievable talent.
Yes, they have great
tight end. I think if they can get a receiver, they already have a good defense. It's just like all the pieces are in place. I just don't understand how any coach in their right mind would possibly make that call. It's just so unbelievably mind-numbingly
Myles Garrett.
stupid. To me in that situation. I could understand if you get a comeback and your quarterback, by all fluke, you got the comeback and he wasn't even playing well and your run game was what was taking you there, I could understand going to the Wildcat.
Like I can understand if you're the Bills to pull out Josh Allen, of course, but I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand why they pull out Shador. Okay.
Anyways, just
we are very, very close here to getting stopped out of a quarter of this trade, and it's barely. I call it a stop out, but it's not a stop out. It's just like I'm just getting out of a quarter of what we have left, and that quarter is now a lot smaller than it was when I put this trade out. Right? I mean, we sort of banked on this level holding, which is why we got out 4 times. If it does break lower, then obviously I'm here for that. But who knows if that is the case or not here with the TQs, man. I mean, the futures look like they're trying to break a little bit higher here. So let's put a bid a little lower. If we can get, basically this piece out in the low 30s, then we'll take that as a win. And then if we have to get punched out that last quarter, then I'm just going to use the 200 as our full stop. So that's 55.55 or so. So quad fives if we have to get stopped out of the full load there. But I'm not. U.S. will take some tariff revenues and hand it over to farmers. I'm hearing there. So I think that's good for. We've already seen the move up for Caterpillar. That's great news, right?
Great news for Deere.
If a farmer, that's what I was going to say. The next one would have been Deere that I can think of. There's various other tractor supply company it could be another good one that takes advantage of this. And Deere's actually had a big move down, and it really hasn't recovered that much. I mean, this could be one that you take advantage of here on John Deere. I actually need to figure this out because I'm just not educated enough as to why John Deere is that much different than Caterpillar. There obviously has to be something there.
Caterpillar, so between Deere and Caterpillar, like Deere is going to be so much ingrained in agriculture, whereas Caterpillar gets two gigantic benefits. One, all of this construction to make data centers, that's huge for Caterpillar. And then the other one, which is implicit, isn't necessarily going to be, it is what it is. When there is destruction or when there is war, Caterpillar makes a bunch of money rebuilding. So, like,
yeah. I forgot Caterpillar. John Deere is much more farming.
Yeah, so it's
stupid. Caterpillar backhoes are everywhere.
Well, the thing is, like, there's moments where a lot of times they're more correlated than right now, I think. But yeah, it's one of those where they end up sometimes being correlated and they're not as correlated as you would expect. Which is, speaking of correlations, someone explained to me why, like, as the market was bouncing, I'm like, and I heard Sean say he was thinking about getting out. I'm like, okay, so we're bouncing. I like Intel at VWAP for a fade. It's weird, because I actually liked it long earlier, but that's neither here nor there anymore. And this doesn't get to VWAP. So on that bounce in the futures, this ends up going the other way. So I'm looking for the VWAP fade this afternoon on Intel, and it might have started happening before the market curled down, which is a little bit weird. So we'll see. Like, I'm looking to short this one on pops if I can. If I can't, like, part of me wanted to go back to SMCI, but then so I trail out of SMCI, but that's relatively strong. It's above VWAP. Like, why would I want to short it if it's above VWAP and relatively strong? So there's the headline. Yep. For farmers.
Yeah, so I think that's good. Like you said, the agriculture sector.
I just don't know why
farmers
was so,
buy.
Oh,
I know. Farmers buy cars in vending machines, so it's probably good for Carvana.
Of course.
Right there, you could buy your backhoe through Carvana and get a used one there. That might not even be that far from being true, but I don't know. Anyways, what an inclusion day for them. Obviously happens. We talked about, you weren't here on Friday, but this was 25% or so was Carvana. The other one was VEEV. There it is, Viva Systems. So this could be on the downside, similar to, see, so this is what I'm saying about Marvell, right? So there was supposed to be, there's talk with Vive, there was talk with Marvell.
They've been on the list all year.
Yeah, so you see what happened to them early today. Obviously, it's rebounding now as people realize, okay, woe is me, you don't get included. It doesn't mean the stock is completely cracked. But they're also different than Carvana. I mean, heading into the announcement, they were well off. I don't even know what these guys do, to be honest with you. But there it is, Viva Systems all the way to the downside right now. Must have not been a great report. And thankfully, I guess, they didn't get added to the S&P 500, or else you would have missed this buying opportunity. If you like the stock, then maybe in here is a decent spot. I mean, never a bad company if you are being considered to be added to the S&P. So definitely something to look at here with Viva. Maybe you guys can help me out with what, they build healthcare, CRM. I don't like CRM, and I'm talking about customer relation management, not Salesforce.
Oh, that's what they do.
I think Agentforce could be something good for Salesforce, and you do have a nice little run up here in CRM as of late, and this has actually been a nice little boon to the old account, man. I told you guys the other day, like, that despite this move down, for some reason we were still hovering around highs in the PI there, but I'm just looking at right in here. This is a decent little look here, coming off of the 200 period moving average. What a move higher there. As they were talking all about their Agentforce, and I think they should change their name from Salesforce to Agentforce. I'm not even joking. If they could take this out, come back in, I think a comeback into the 50 period moving average is completely healthy for this. Let's see if it holds it at 250 and then gives you the springboard action there back up to the upside. A pretty decent report for Salesforce, and you can see the stock reacting there over the last week or so. Nice move higher off of that 230. Salesforce, aka Agentforce.
Only place to buy that thing is at 230.
Yeah, and I don't know. I hope it doesn't get back there. So
I hope it never sees it again.
Yes,
because it's been
until it might when it splits 10 for 1.
We have a friend who, it's one of our guys in our high school football pool who has like a really close buddy who's there.
Oh, at Salesforce.
And I was at the birthday party. I was like, oh man, this stock has stunk this year, and we're just whatever. Stocks always come up anytime there's a conversation. It's like, yeah, Neil, what do you think about the market? And then it obviously came up because it was like the worst performing tech stock in a while this year. And then he was sort of giving all of the bull cases for it. It was like, I think it was the worst outperforming stock this year.
Yeah,
right?
this is it right here. This is 20. This is
That was the
331. So it opened up the year at 331.
It's
down
number
to
one.
258. So it's down about 20% this year.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but
It's showing signs of a bottom.
that
guess.
230 is. I mean, look at this chart. I mean, this 230 has been huge.
It's the only place to buy it.
Get my mug out of here.
But you've been buying. But that's the problem with that level is
Hey, Andre, get my mug out of
not
here.
doing enough.
There we go. Oh, by the way, there was, I don't know if Ramin still has that. Maybe you could just send it to me. But I spent about all of 1 minute trying to learn what those guys do over there. And like, I could say like, oh, you know, take my face out of there. There are multiple buttons and combinations you have to hit to have that happen. So shout out to Ramin, Andre, Fabian, sometimes Randy, who tries to run the board.
When we first started, it was like there was I remember.
Yeah, it looked like it was reasonable, like you could fly it.
There was like a thing. It looked like a normal keyboard with a little bit of extra stuff on it. And I remember us getting shown how it worked. And it was easy enough that there was a point that the midday was actually switching on themselves. Like that's how not complex it was. And now it's like the Starship and
Yeah, well, but I think now there's literally multiple cameras, angles, this and that. We get in trouble if he doesn't show different cameras all the time.
Exactly.
What do you guys think about that red background? I don't know. I think we're working on a few new things here. You, you missed Family Feud. We did have Family Feud on there one day. That was a lot of fun.
Love Family.
I think we're working on a few more things. We have the stock visualizer, of course, at the bottom there as well. And then I see, what's up, Silverado Blue? I'm going to show this because they don't show up on the
I like the picture. I don't like the
thing
color.
there. Oh yeah, the picture's great of Toronto, of course. And then happy holidays, if everybody. You got your tree up yet, or what?
Oh yeah, we put our tree up.
December, what time is it?
Our goal to put our tree up is always U.S. Thanksgiving.
Yes, that's when we go and get our
tree needs to get up at that time, and I got to get my winners on for U.S. Thanksgiving. It's like there's no excuse because like the market's closed on the Thursday. Like if I can't get stuff done,
We take the kids out of school on that day to go get the tree. Yeah, so that was good. So our tree's been up for a minute. Yeah, you know what? Good point there in the chat. What in the hell?
heck.
Both. Andre, man, cut the stream very, very soon, man. Because, like, honestly, if you guys don't want us to be on here, we don't have to be. 4,400. Soon, Andre. Soon. Okay, now, no. 4,400 watching. Come on, man. 200 likes. 200 likes. Man, they're really not feeling us right here. Which is fine, man. We can just have Sharif and Joe just go.
What the hell is even that?
Yeah, what that guy said.
What?
That was that whole bowl. That's not the bowling thing.
No, I know what that.
But
That's the
that bowling guy was
something.
You're not him, it's me, or something.
Oh, who do you think you
are?
are?
I am.
Pete Weber.
Pete Alonso.
Pete Weber. Who do you think you are? I am. That dude. It's like nobody is into bowling, but I'll tell you right now, like there is not think of it, it's bowling for crying out loud. That guy is talking smack in the lanes while you ever watch
as
the
he
clip,
should be.
He's trash talking the crowd and going back and forth with the crowd as he's winning the whole day. It gets out of a movie. That guy. So
I don't want to face Mookie Betts in bowling.
Mookie Betts can win it just about it. But I don't like him anymore. I used to like that guy, and then he beat us. This market doesn't want to bounce to get me short. I'm looking for a small capper that might be moving, and Adair is looking to fill us in on something.
Keep an eye here on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. As hinted at earlier here, Michael Burry has published a long idea for these two, saying that the day seems to be finally nearly upon us, quote unquote, for FMCC and FNMA to the upside. Here is FMCC. FNMA, which actually rallied earlier when he first teased out this announcement, is pushing even higher now. So again, these two on watch as Michael Burry publishes his long idea for them both. Back to you.
So he published a new long. Hasn't he been long this all year? I think. I got to double check.
I mean, that's probably why he's publishing, because it's not going up fast enough. So.
Yeah, because I don't remember whatever. I know he bought this year. I know that much because that was one.
I mean, here's the stock right here. Oh, you got it up.
Yeah, I have the daily chart, but it's not moving now.
This is the problem. See how like it gaps up there? It's fine. It's just you can get caught pretty good in this. So just be careful with these stocks. You just got to be careful about it. I haven't traded it all today, but look, see, doing nothing, and then pop goes the weasel. And again, just be careful about things that people are producing, right? I mean, we know that Bill Ackman had a great story for this stock as well. And it's just, you just got to do your own due diligence in all of this, man. I mean, this was $1 when Trump was around. So a year ago today, this was $1, basically, okay? So just be careful with it. Right now up to $11 or $12 as, you know, Trump looking for some more revenues, and it would make sense to see if they can get something done with Fannie and Freddie. So just be careful there. I mean, it's not look, everyone does whatever they want with their own money, but Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, so that's FNMA, and here's FMCC as well. And Michael Burry might have had some great points there. I mean, the man is very, very smart, obviously, as we talked about the big short and some of the plays that he had, apparently shorting NVIDIA there just before earnings and some Palantir love. Or not love, but love for the short. So, definitely worth a quick look here to see what's going on with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. We say
sometimes I fear
shout out to Adair.
You never want to be too smart.
No, you don't want to be the smartest guy in the room.
I think part of the
that's never happened to me, so I don't know.
You're always looking, like, for the market, if all you're ever looking for is when the market has it wrong, like that's got to be like the hardest thing to do. It's probably easier to do on the long side than it is the short side, because if the market's undervaluing something, like it's a Warren Buffett idea, right? Like the market's generally going up. If a good company is getting beaten down, like you're probably not going to get destroyed buying into it. Like it actually, especially if you have a sound case. But in the other side of the coin, it's like that would be torturous, ruinous, because the market is constantly, all we do is print money. And we're just moving from bubble to bubble. So you can get yourself hurt if you're always thinking of top. So when he has a long idea, he was so right about that waste management thing, but it wasn't waste management, no. Shoot, I'm thinking I'm mixing that up with the, what was the prison company again?
Oh, yes.
No. What was the prison company? He had a great call on that one to the long side.
GRR? No.
Geo?
Geo.
Is it Geo?
100%. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so like that's why the FNMA.
A Hyundai P.
If he likes a long, it makes me interested in it. So if the market's not going to pop up to get me short in Intel, I just want to report to you guys that TWWG finally reopened, continuing to make fresh highs. It's halted a bunch of times here today, 300% to the upside. Not exactly. This doesn't suck. Like look at the daily chart. This is actually a legitimate like secondary breakouts. Anybody that short this is getting hurt pretty badly. But what I don't know, and if you're thinking about holding, swing, all that kind of stuff, is I don't know. Can these guys raise? Can they offer? They could be, because they've already filed potentially, and if they could drop an offering at any time and take advantage of this, that's something that you always have to be concerned of, a raise when you have this kind of a move here for TWG. But all systems pretty much go. It's rejected 25 a couple times. I'm not concerned I'd be about that right now. If you're holding in the money, but if you're buying up here, good luck to you is all I could say. So if we're not going to pop into VWAP, and this is going to be the leg down, that's one fail, two fails. I'm looking at potentially three here, as our Intel looks like it's heading back into the low, as I believe we are going to go to Adara. Oh, no. Okay, not yet.
Okay, then come over to me immediately. All right, Beta Pro by Global X, man. You guys scan that QR code. You know about this company. You've been talking about it for a quite little minute here. Scan that QR code. They are the 3X daily levered home for ETFs here on the TSX. So if you are looking for some exposure on TSX, get some triple levered there, TSX 60, some utilities, energy names. They're all over that. It's, treasuries. So make sure you go check them out. And of course, fee holiday until the 31st of this month with Beta Pro Global X right now. I want to thank everybody. Yeah, we're going to go to Darren in a second. I just want to thank everybody. We're now at 524 likes. And honestly, my good friend over there, Christopher Ocean, every time someone asks for likes, he hits the down thumb. Come on, man. You just got to hit the like button. We're doing this for free. That's how we let YouTube know. Get more people involved. We want to thank you guys for that as well. And go over to Adair, because I believe there's more news in the farming space. I don't know.
TSEO and DE both dropping here. Trump saying that they're going to be removing environmental regulations on tractor firms. Specifically, he mentioned DE here, but TSEO also moving again. U.S. President Donald Trump announcing that they're going to be removing environmental regulations on tractor firms. These stocks are both dropping on this news. Back to you.
Hey, I brought you guys Tractor Supply when a couple minutes ago. I think it actually has done well since then, and I'm not sure.
Why would Deere be falling?
Yeah, I'm not sure why either one would be falling on that kind of a news, but that you would think less regulations. Like Trump is not talking about these things as a negative. I think he's probably trying to boost this. Farming equipment. Okay, here we go.
Oh, I see.
So he's saying that the equipment is too expensive to begin with. So by maybe losing some of these regulations, maybe they can lower the prices, which of course is not a good margin story for many of these companies. So yeah, I take that back a little bit. I don't think this will be a very positive story for Deere and so on and so forth. But Trump's opinion on the price of a backhoe isn't super exciting to me. But, you know, I think Caterpillar best of breed here. I do like the story about construction as well as farming, all kind of wrapped into one, and AI story for these guys as well. I do like Caterpillar in this space. We can maybe see some love for them soon, but that's Caterpillar right now. And getting going a little bit here off the bottom, 593. I don't know. That seems to be a problem for Deere. I was wondering, there has to be an agriculture ETF somewhere, and I think that would be maybe the one to look at here right now. So if you guys know of one, let me know there in the chat. Why do I see JP Morgan dancing on my screener here? It's not. Okay, so I don't know why that's happening right now. But yeah, the banks, I just feel that like the futures sure are doing this, right? And oh yeah, by the way, let's do a little bit of an update here. Let's just get back to the, and it's just, we got out of that quarter there and got another quarter here. We told you we put this bid there at 32, right? I mean, we put that here before we got stopped out. We put it here when it bumped up there, so back into there. So quarter out there, have half left. And now we can do it together, 55, 55, 55. So we'll just put that in right now, 55, 56. Fooled ya. We'll put that stop in right there, push offer and enter. And Neil and I have hotkeys associated with our accounts. And as anybody can here at Real Trading, make sure you understand your software. That's first and foremost. Make sure you can do this kind of stuff. Get your bids and offers in and understand your stop orders. We have very many stop orders that we can use. And I just use one that markets it out, an aggressive limit order that will act as a market, and they'll just fire it off. And I believe it's ARCA that it uses, and it will swipe. It's like a fill or kill button where it just goes out. So if I get stopped out now, it'll probably throw out like a 55.70 order, meaning it will wipe everything until 55.70. But when you're trading on Qs or basically a lot of the liquid names that will use this order type on, you will not get that much slippage unless it's an instant
unless there's in
sort
the
of
middle
a news event. And even then, like, I would still trust the software more than my hands. So I don't have a problem with whatever price I get on stop outs that I put the order out.
There's only one instance where I've ever seen it be an issue. And it's a very particular one, and I remember it ended a trader's career. It was trading an oil ETF on a Wednesday and using one one of those order types at 10:29.
But that is like a strict news. Like that is like the worst kind of news.
It was literally in the 1 second before the oil inventories came out and having a stop trigger in that moment, because that's the 1 second where there is no market.
Yeah.
And then the oil inventories come out, and you just flattened yourself, or punched in this particular case, into an absolute you're automatically the worst price possible. Let's go to Adair.
Holy shit.
TERN here. This is Turn Pharmaceuticals. This one on watch here after announcing that their safety profile for one of their treatments has been maintained with longer treatment duration. Nice move here for TERN. Back to you two.
I got to think about this. I was thinking about this for the rundown. Like, a lot of times we'll be looking at these small cap stocks when we do the rundown, because it's like what was hot in the morning and made the list. And so we end up covering something which is dead, and then something like WeBuy, which is going ham, ends up not really getting the coverage. So WBuy, 127% to the upside here, breaking through highs, as we're going to go to Adair, presumably, to find out why.
Yes, sorry guys, more news. Keep an eye here on PSKY and WBD as well as NFLX. Senate Republican leader John Thune saying that the Department of Justice has to take, quote, a hard look at Paramount's bid for Warner Brothers. Back to you.
Look at this butter knife here. He needs some defrosting here. I don't know where you're located to get some trade ideas. Look, I just want to show you one thing here before we go over to SoFi. This says here 27 long. It actually says 27.25 long on day 2 of the offering. Should still hold these Friday lows and then head to the upside. All right, so I was thinking about, all right, what have we done on SoFi today, right? How about absolutely nothing? How about the low of $27? How about it right back up to highs? So SoFi right there. Man, oh man. It's too bad because, you know, during this move down, I wanted to get up and I leave every day at 11. I try to do my best to do that. And there's SoFi right there. Comes back in at 11, touches down to 12. Down to 27, and then rate back up. Whatever. Mistrade. Not going to cry over spilled milk, but that would have been a good one there for SoFi. Was that over to Adara again? Sorry. No, we just came back from her. Okay. Yeah, so look, some good talk here about everything. Oracle right now, I see someone in the chat asking us about this Oracle. What is going on here? What a missed opportunity now for Oracle, man. I mean, that was epically low. Like, honestly wondering, like, if Oracle is bankrupt or what's going on here, because they just fell from grace real hard and kind of came into a good support area. Now, it's not going to look like it's the greatest area here by any stretch of the imagination, because who knows where it's going to stop when it's falling like that, but it does stop right into December of last year levels, you know, and now right back up to the upside. So it's kind of taking me a little bit by surprise that we're up to 220. I didn't think we were that high, but I guess we were. We were kind of up here on Friday. So I kind of just missed this one. I think it's a good stock that you can sort of put into the portfolio now. I'd like to see it maybe test this 200 one more time, which is just so... You can easily test it tomorrow, and then if we can get that and then the springboard back up, that would be good, or come back into this area, then springboard one more time. Whenever there's bottoms like this, I'd like to see like at least one more test just to make sure what we're talking about here. So that's a level for me on Oracle. So let's see if it comes back into 200. A 200 hold would be fine for me on that one as we get some more orders out, because our good friend, the TQQs, has come all the way back in, and we just got filled again on that one. So there it is right there. Another move right back in there for the future. So we sit at the 50-period moving average and get another fill. Now we'll just wait. I still have bids lower. I don't know if they're going to fill 20s and then teens. 23 and then 10 to get out. So the low of the day is what we're kind of waiting for now on the future. We'll wait to see if that comes back in. But
yeah, and remember Oracle after the bell on Wednesday. Wednesday's a big day. We're gonna get we get the Fed on Wednesday. We get Oracle earnings on Wednesday.
Hey, that should be exciting.
Today is Broadcom. Is it the same day? Maybe not.
Is Broadcom this week? Oh my gosh.
We have Broadcom. Who's the third one? Dara.
Broadcom is
Oracle,
in 3 days,
Broadcom.
December 11th.
Oracle, Broadcom, Lululemon, Costco, and ABGO, ORCL, Adobe.
Micron.
Adobe's also this week. Micron is not this week, though.
Micron's next week. Yeah, they're last.
Next big one. Yeah, so it is here. It's 3 days from now, Thursday, December the 11th.
We get to figure out why Costco is so weak. That's one. For sure.
Well, we know why. It's the tariffs. They have to pay back all these tariffs.
Whether or not things are getting better, I think, for them.
I don't think.
Unfortunately, which they might not be, to be honest with you. And apparently, John Baker says, we've forgotten Cracker Barrel. Our bad. Whatever happened with that story didn't last very long.
No, they changed their symbol back immediately.
Yeah, it's just like...
Trump was like, I don't like the new symbol.
It's weird.
New logo.
It's weird that it turned into something political when, like, I remember when I saw it the first time, I was like, why is this even political? I just think the new logo sucks. Like, it didn't move past it to me just looking bad. And it's like, oh, well, some people turn it into something which was bigger than that. I'm like, I don't know, it just kind of sucks.
Adara probably has a post. Adara, you had a post on Cracker Barrel?
The hilarity of this is, A, I do have one, and B, I just finished a new one that I'm posting ahead of the earnings. So, yes, and I have more. Give me 2 seconds. I can put up my existing post on it.
Yeah.
It's about the Trump thing, and give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, because I want to see, I hope it has the 2 logos on it. I want to have a judgment. I want to go. Maybe we put a chat up and we see old or new logo there for Cracker Barrel.
If it's not, okay.
I just want to see. I can't remember what the new one is.
I'd say it'd be like 85% old.
Yeah, I mean, so most people want to stick with the...
Yeah, the kind of people that would like the new one, I think, are the kind of people that would pull Sure Sanders and have the running back and the Wildcat for that 2-point conversion. Like, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, so the coach maybe...
Like those kind of things. Kevin Stefanski. Shout out to Kevin
Stefanski, yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm not a Stefanski hater. I actually think he's, like, in a lot of ways, a very good coach.
What is it? CKBL? What is Cracker Barrel's symbol?
CRBL.
Oh.
No, sorry, CBRL.
Yeah, right. Okay. No K's in there.
Oh, what's with the? You see this bid?
What the hell?
What the heck is that?
Maybe Sharif left a bid there for some reason. 400,000 shares?
What is that?
This is a real bid.
What? Why is that there?
Right here. This does. Why is that there? That doesn't make any sense on Cracker Barrel. What does the daily chart look like? What in the... Oh, yeah, by the way, I got to get Joe. Joe wants peach pie. I don't know why I thought about that with Cracker Barrel. All right, Adair, what is that? What do those things look like?
Rebecca makes a great.
Yeah, so I mean, I do have the second half of this infographic here. This has the old Cracker Barrel logo and Trump's fun AI version of the Cracker Barrel logo, but I also have the new logo. So here is the new logo. This is the new logo. The old one, not the Trump version, is just going to be right here. So I can kind of put them so they're side by side for you guys. If you give me a moment, here you go. Old, new versus old. Again, there will be an infographic about Cracker Barrel earnings that'll be coming out soon. I haven't decided yet when to post it, but it's ready to post. So.
I don't know. They look
Yeah,
the
but
same.
the other thing too is
One
like
has a dude in it,
They
one-
completely get rebranded like how the stores look and all that stuff. So like yeah,
People were really perturbed they got rid of the man. That was like a big issue for people. And it's funny, while I was doing research for my new Cracker Barrel infographic, I found out that apparently, even though the CEO of Cracker Barrel, Julie Fels-Macedo, she's still with the company, but she says it felt like America fired her. So really weird stuff.
well, it's because they didn't like
And they
getting
spoke
rid
up
of.
and they didn't
It would
like
be
the
the
logo.
equivalent of getting rid of. Like it's not an easy thing to do. You could pull off getting rid of
Why?
the Colonel, let's just say.
That can't
for
be the reason
KFC.
why it's
Like,
down
can,
so much.
It can be that can happen. No, I don't think that's why it's down anymore.
No, I don't not even mean today. I'm just saying like in general.
At
like,
one point, that's
when
what it
did
was.
that happen? That Cracker
that was
Barrel
months
news? Because like,
It was months ago.
what the? This is a weekly chart, so you're well below 2020 levels. Look, I know, we don't have that many of them around here. I believe there's one at Yorkdale. I'm not sure where there's even another one. But if we're gonna look at a monthly chart here, like right now on Cracker Barrel, like how far exactly are you back? You're back to 2010 levels. What is this thing, Intel or something? Like this has gotten real crushed right
Not
now.
alone. They're not alone in struggling a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, this is a restaurant, right? So I mean, some restaurants are fine right now if you're going to look out there. Darden, we can look at Darden restaurants as well. That's they have Olive Garden and things like that. But yeah, Cracker Barrel right there, an interesting bid happening right now at 2703. There, so I don't know enough about all these, but yeah, I'm not going to compare it. I see someone there talking about KFC and stuff like Yum Brands. Those aren't like, you know, that's why I was saying Kava. Like CMG's had a run at it to the downside as well, trying to find its base as well. But these are more like fast food places, and I can wrap my head around that because more people staying home from working. CMG, obviously a big like fast food, get it for lunch and whatever type of thing. Right there, big Uber Eats name I would assume as well, or DoorDash name is, with Chipotle and Kava and things like that. But yeah, that's an interesting one for Cracker Barrel. This is CMG. Just whoops. See, they lost Brian Nickel, and that was the end of that one since that happened. On there, and then of course, hopefully none of them are selling Beyond Meat products. But even on this one, still above $1. This could get going at some point as well. Don't discount this one. Beyond Meat still 45% or something short float on BYND right here. If we go into details for Beyond Meat, I just want to see what the short float is, and then we'll think about putting some trades on somewhere, at least looking for some. Oh, okay, no, it's 20% short. That's probably pretty accurate. So during that move up, a lot of traders might have got blown out of Beyond Meat. So yeah, up 35% this week. That was from last week. So yeah, Beyond Meat's still a decent name here. This is the Benzinga platform we use to try to get some of our news. But obviously, a big shout out to Adara in the back there with all of the news that we need. Futures still trying to go lower. Let's see if we do. This is my big play for the day, man. I mean, let's just see if the futures close near the lows, and hopefully they do. And then we'll just sit on it and see what winds up happening there. Rivian, we did have early. We got out of it. Good short, blown out there. Made some money back. Didn't even get green on it, though, unfortunately, because that was about 30% or so of the position we put back on. So we do get shut down. Our trade gets shut out there on my own punching out, and then we punched back in to the side of that, but was unable to get green on the stock because there's our stop out. I just said when I left for the gym, I said stop this out if it breaks VWAP, and that's what it did. And I'm happy with that stop out, needless to say. We had about 20% left, so that's why that was not able to turn. And then one more trade here, as I'm thinking short into the close if the market doesn't hold, and right there, Tesla would be the one that I'd look at. I mean, I'm already short the futures. This Tesla move is pretty bad today, down 4%. I mean, the move itself is fine. We've had a good level up here, and I still think we could take out 480. Just need a good story. But today, Tesla kind of following its own beat here, down 4.3%. Was there a Tesla specific story? I think it might have been on our watch list. I think I saw, there it is, Tesla there. Trading lower pre-market. Morgan Stanley downgraded the stock. Okay, thanks, Morgan. Analyst said stocks had a massive run, exactly, and it might be a little too lofty for the expectations in robotaxis, FSD, and Optimus. So, okay, I mean, they basically keyworded everything they could there with FSD, Optimus, and robo-taxis. So they just thought it was a little overdone there to the upside in some cooling off periods coming for Tesla. So good downgrade maybe by Morgan. Price target though, 4.25. So they downgrade it, but not too far from here. So we'll see if that 4.25, I mean, I like 4.25. That's a good level there. I think anything down near 400 maybe gets bought up again. So, all right, here we go, man. Can these futures tick lower? We're bidding 23s. We are now moments away. So we're sitting in lineup there. We're going to have to get filled, and there it is. It crushes through, and we do get a little bit there of those 23s on the TQQ. So a little quick out there on 23. Now let's wait to see if it can get a little bit lower, but the short is trying to go right now. IBIT holding. I see some people asking about
holding
it.
90K.
Gonna have to wait on that.
I don't know. We're retesting 90, but I liked 90 this morning. I don't like it anymore. I'll be honest with you. 90,000 on Bitcoin is what I'm getting at, but I'm looking low of the day here in Intel. It didn't get to VWAP, so cry me a river. Shorted it in front of the quarter level. I have 16s as my price. This is technically 24, but it's about 10 cents worth of risk. So as it gets down about 20 or so, I'm holding on to a third for the low of the day. As far as IBIT goes, we're at 90,280 or so on Bitcoin, those that are asking. And it was, I don't know, I feel like I was trying so hard to be patient, and this led to like the lesson of the day, which was when things are falling and I know I like a level, do one of two things. One, 90,000 is at 51, right? So one of two things would be A, wait till it gets there. And I took the first possible trend break, so I don't like that trade. I don't like it at all. And then I think I can live with every other time, like it holds the prior lows, I'm gonna be in that. It stops out. And then it starts bouncing here almost clean around the 51 area, so we take those trades. But it's the early two trades that are just not necessary. Like eventually get it back, but you're always looking to be a little bit better than before. So Bitcoin holding 90,000 I think is a good thing, but I'm just gonna slide over and show a higher time frame chart, whatever, 4 hour? Yeah, that kind of gets the job done. So if you look at this on the 4 hour, you still have, there's our higher lows. At the dump, doesn't end up breaking into the 70s. We end up holding that 80,000 level, higher low at 85. And then this little double bottom here at 88, half of which came in the weekend. It held the 88. And you've all been doing that going into a potential re-breakout of 93. So this area here, unless we break that out, I think you got a little relief rally without breaking this out at 93 and breaking back above this little structure we have, the support. I still think I'm not completely convinced of this dip buy. Like there's always individual longs and day trades for longs like today. But until we actually start breaking away from 93 and gaining some traction at that price, still feels like we're getting a little bit of a relief rally, and I'm not convinced we're out of this little downward push here in Bitcoins. I'm not convinced that it's a buy in longer term over 90 yet. Still think we can still head down into the 70s. But for today, it was a long off that 90,000 level, as we can see. And John Baker wants risk on. You want BTC to go because you want risk on. Well, I think a lot of people do. Maybe Powell gives us something on Wednesday that puts us back in that track. Until now, I think mostly, you're just looking for like the small moves, like take what you can get. If you're looking for longs in Bitcoin the last couple of days, like, okay, get yourself a little bit of a long off the bottom, a little bit off the bottom, get some range bound stuff. Like there's not a lot of, like there's no huge moves. Like you got a couple of huge moves in there, but most of the days you're getting sort of like scalp trade action on Bitcoin. And then the bigger moves happen like overnight, over the weekend, that kind of a deal. You just get used to that, especially to the upside. It's kind of few and far between there for Bitcoin. If you're looking for bigger moves, then you should be looking at, like it's a little bit of a bounce there on IBIT, and I can learn. Whoops, BMN. I guess I didn't type the R. Yeah, there we go. If you're looking for bigger moves off the bottom, like when a small bid happens in crypto, a bigger move happens in BMNR. Look at this off of Friday's low. But this is in hindsight. I wasn't looking at BMNR today. I didn't trade it. I was looking at Bitcoin. Off 34 into 35.5, up 5%. That's a clean move off of the lows on DM&R. So it's going to be outsized moves, and whoa, we just had a bit of a spike there as it's breaking out. I still don't like those.
We got that news. Yeah, I'm not
the
sure.
treasuries, I mean.
Yeah,
I just mean if it's a trade, if it was a decently strong day in Bitcoin and you're like, it's not moving enough, then go trade one of the, like an MSTR or a DM&R.
The market is just slow right now. I know that some people maybe in the chat are getting frustrated with this market, and I don't blame you. There's not a whole heck of a lot going on right now. I mean, we are now, like I said, 2 days away, minus an hour into the Fed. And we got some stories this morning. We traded off of those. We discussed some of those stories. We just got one right now. And I'm trying to watch out for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac here, see if there's anything going on with Michael Burry putting out a report about, maybe it's time to get these things going again. And yeah, it could be right. I don't know. But right now, just kind of hovering around this 1150 marker. So if you break out through the top of this trade, then maybe I was just looking over there. I was looking at FMCC as well. This could be something. I mean, there's the break higher through this level. So like if this was NVIDIA or something, then maybe. But that's still 1175 there. Often these will move the next day. So if you're involved with this, let the news settle down and then maybe trade this thing tomorrow or trade it today as well. It's not a huge amount of volume though. Like we've seen this name do 20, 30, 40, 50 million shares. And just today at 3, it's not like a huge level, a huge amount of shares right now to say the least anyways, on Fannie Mae. So 4 million, but a good one. And then it's brother Freddie Mac, also hovering near some of these levels as well. So we'll see if Fannie and Freddie each have something to say today. If you're looking for some volume, right? The stock that I'm waiting to see whatever happens with is Story, because I actually want to see if there's like big imbalances or anything, because I know sometimes the pink sheets, and we can talk with this with Jeff, because he always had mentioned that there was going to be some closing auctions and stuff, but we don't see them on our imbalance locator. So I know there was rumors about Luck and Coffee coming back to the NASDAQ, so that would be an interesting story. Needless to say, if that ever...
well, he's supposed to be on tomorrow, so we should ask him.
Is he on Tuesday?
Well,
no, he's on Thursdays normally, isn't he? Tuesdays is...
I see him in the calendar tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, no, that's right. He comes on at 10:45. Right. Okay, yeah.
Well, when he's not skiing...
I know, I messaged him. He was... where was he? He was in Dallas or something. He got back to me last week when I messaged him. He said, tell everybody I'm skiing, but I'm really in Dallas. Oops. Right there. So we'll talk to him about that tomorrow as we go.
I'd rather...
I would think so, but maybe he was doing some work down there.
I like Dallas.
Or maybe caught the Cowboys game there. I don't know.
I love the city. I love the city of Dallas. It's fun to be down there. Lots of good stuff.
Too warm, no?
To do. It's nice and warm. I just don't like their football team. I'll leave it at there.
Yeah, big football nation over there with Texas A&M as well. Texas.
Get down to Fort Worth.
Houston knocked out Kansas City Chiefs of the playoffs yesterday, so they are now gone. There's a very, very small chance they can still make it. That's not going to be happening for them, unfortunately. So bye-bye.
Oh, I'm sorry, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, bye-bye. He gone. Right. Yeah, the one thing I don't feel sorry for is that guy, of course. But
it's horrible, man. I just, I feel.
Yeah, he's going to go down as probably the greatest quarterback of this current generation.
Oh, of course he is. But
whatever.
You're gone now, buddy.
Until Jordan Love wins 4 or 5 rings in a row, and then maybe that'll take that over. Jordan Love only 4 interceptions this year. Not bad.
I said this in the chat.
Some more touchdowns,
the reason why, remember the beginning of the year, I was like, whatever. I'm not a Homer Green Bay fan, but I was skeptical. I was wrong about how good the Chicago would be. Mm-hmm. That's fine. But I was like,
we all were.
The Detroit Lions, I've been saying this forever, they will never, I'll tell you, they will never win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. And the reason they'll never win is go watch.
Or with their coach. Bad decisions. Too emotional.
I think if he had a different quarterback, that could be overcome. But I've never seen a quarterback with so many quality weapons and such a great system. And just watch games. He will not make. He'll have James or someone wide open deep, and he'll just sit there and he's afraid to throw it. Or if he's not feeling a throw that's there, watch how many times throughout the game, instead of fitting one in, he'll bounce it. Like, he bounces a lot of balls because he'll just short arm it. Like, he'll second guess it as he's throwing. Show me a great quarterback who does that on a regular basis. None of them do that. The second they're like, I'm making this throw, they're making that throw. Like, that's you know what I'm saying? It's just very different. They seem to do that a lot. And it's like, nah, man. Like, if for better or for worse, sometimes you got to go out there and win the game. And I just don't think he has that in him. And I think Sean McVay realized that. That's why I went with Matt Stafford, who's an unbelievable player. I'm going to do it. So we're only about 15 minutes until we get some early looks. I'm going to look for a reload here. Again, like I like the short on Intel. Unfortunately, didn't like it early. Look at this flat bottom break. Hindsight is 20/20. But if you weren't looking at Intel for a short, then why would you have been on this there? But yeah, like it just because it's weak today, down 3%. I'm not actually sure why Intel's down so much today. There was no Intel
profit-taking, man.
Again, that's the only thing we can come up with. There was no specific story to them this morning that I'm aware of, but it did just, last week make some big highs. You had all that Apple good news and maybe coming back in from it. So, like Intel, want to look to see it get right back into this 40 quarters or so. Try to reload it and see if it heads back into the low. What else we got going on?
Well, it's only 315.
It's only 315. Oh, by the way,
yeah.
So here's.
Austin 315.
That's QB risk management. I get it. Sometimes you've got to throw it away. But there's a very big difference between realizing that throw is not there and throwing it away. And as you're throwing it, being like, oh shoot, I'm gonna make a different decision, because eventually that's gonna lead to a mistake. And the other side of the coin is it's that he will then not pull the trigger when it's an obvious. It's just right there. Like I watched a play, and this is the one that gets me. And not just because I have Jameson Williams in fantasy. The play design, his first read is a deep ball to Jameson Williams. His receiver beats the safety like off the bat. It's like he's gone. Williams is like one of the 3 fastest guys in the league. He's open, it's over. He's staring it down, he looks, he doesn't make the throw. It's like that was your first read, it was immediately open, and it's a touchdown. And I don't even know what he was doing. It was a clean pocket, like everything about it. And I see that guy do it all the time. That's why I think they will never win. That will never happen with Josh Allen. If Love sees something deep, he just pulls the trigger.
One of the best deep ball throws in the league.
Like he's a better deep ball thrower than Patrick Mahomes. I'll tell you that much.
One of the best in the league. There's on that stat. I'm only saying that because there's a stat.
No, Patrick Mahomes is one of the most overrated deep throwers in the game.
Yeah, maybe.
His reputation and
he didn't get much help yesterday. What's his name there? Ray Rice. Rashee Rice there dropped that fourth down.
That wasn't his fault.
It doesn't matter. No, it's not.
People.
That's football, man. I mean, that's.
Biased.
I mean, the Green Bay Packers could have lost yesterday. Like they just got lucky. It was 4th down and goal basically, and 1 I think, and Caleb threw the pick. So, all right. So here into the close, right? 315 right now, 316, 317. Yeah, it's just, this is pretty bar-coded, but this is a stock that's definitely moving around today, Tesla. So just looking here, we do get a cross-up of the 200 and the 50-period moving average right into here. Not a big, huge thing for me, though, but it's the first time that happened today, so that should be a sign of strength right now as the 50-period trying to catch up a little bit with that move. So we'll see if indeed it winds up holding or not. But that's, I would say this is a good little look for the long. We only spent about 40, this is a 1-minute chart, so about a half hour or so underneath this 436.50. So I'm thinking that that's a decent spot there for something to maybe happen with Tesla. So that's a good little long opportunity right there. 436.50. President Trump says if he has to, he will tax fertilizer from Canada.
Okay.
I don't know how much fertilizer we have here, but if we do have some, get ready to get taxed. I was just thinking about Scott's Miracle-Gro for some reason, a fertilizer name, probably into the this is probably a U.S. company. I'm sure he's talking about, there's probably way bigger. Yeah, we just heard in our ear Mosaic as well. Mosaic symbol is MOS.
MOS, yeah.
So right here, potash, all this kind of stuff, getting into those businesses, not great. But as you can see, up and down again as well. Just continue to watch the stories, right? I mean, I don't know. It's not great. Like, we brought you this news, so shout out to us here, but not a shout out to the action, because I don't have any of this. But there goes Deere. We brought it to you right at the beginning of all of this. So this is basically down $6 or $7, if not more than that, since we had first talked about it. So Deere, a little bit of a bleed here. Back to the downside. We're hearing a stock called Nutrien also getting lower. So there's Mosaic. So again, you heard it here live. And I told you, man, I already did the due diligence. There are many streams around right now that put your boys in the background and then try to drop the news live because they don't have it, but they do know that Adara does. So shout out to you guys Hope you're doing well. You're never going to beat us. So good job there, but we do appreciate the views. There's a stream down for Mosaic. Nice downside play there. So it was Deere. It was the TSCO. I really like Tractor Supply Company, but their tractors haven't provided much gain here over the last couple months in Tractor Supply Company. So we'll see if that's going to hit through again there as well. But Deere, and you know what? I still think there's going to be more talk, hopefully, about Boeing. You know, I'm in this name basically at 200. Not basically, at $200 even for Boeing. We talked about this was a dip buy that I bought in the last couple weeks on that weakness there. Looked like a falling knife when I did it, but I thought it was going to hold. It didn't. Went down to 180. CFO comes back, reiterates some of their targets. That stock jumps last week. And then the other name that I bought basically 3 names. Well, I also bought Oscar, but I haven't checked that in a while on their recent move down, and I also bought some Uber at around $85. And then we bought Alibaba at 160. So this is the one that's definitely not working right now, Alibaba, but the other 2 are. So I think Alibaba is a work in progress there, but I don't mind Uber or Boeing down there at some of those levels. Just trying to get a little away from the AI game. I know Uber's an AI play, but I was trying to get away from the chip AI type of stuff there.
Well, you can still diversify within the AI space. Like to me, to not have any of the, like you have energy names that work, Caterpillar's being diversified in the AI game, Uber is an example as well. Having not just the chip makers, you can have some of the equipment makers that are going to be in there for you. Like you could like a Lam or an ASML. It's just tons of ways that you can be diversified in AI. And for everyone that was, I think someone already mentioned a Nutrien, but
yeah, I did. I heard in my ear, but I didn't know the symbol.
No, because Nutrien is like, that's like the biggest in terms of potash. They're like #1. So that's the Canadian stock that would be moving on that headline, which they were. But
the question is it potash or potash?
I don't know.
I think it's potash. And I think so because
I say potash.
Me too. And I think there was a stock, there used to be a stock that got bought out by somebody, and it was potash. But I think it might be the other way around.
You guys let
there as well. Or don't. I mean, either way. Bernstein just put a target on Bitcoin. Is that what you're going to talk about, Adara? No.
Yeah, let's talk here about the market, because we do have to keep an eye here on, I couldn't really find any fertilizer stocks immediately, but again, Trump's saying they're going to be tariffing Canadian fertilizer if they have to, saying this will be severe tariff threats. He also said that they're actually willing to tap more into tariff funds for farm aid. So just keep an eye here. Trump talking here about tariffs. He also previously said that it would be really bad for the U.S. if the Supreme Court case ends up going ruling against the tariffs. Back to you.
So it is potash.
I don't know if it's potash or potash, but at the end of the day, some saying potassium comes from it. So that would and then the pot. Apparently, people saying that's how it's cooked up. All right, so talking about cooking something up here. Bernstein right here, a little aggressive over here. Target is 150 right there. I did not read about it. This is Bitcoin's current price, 91,000. So a little bit of work to do on Bitcoin there, Bernstein, and I haven't read. Setting a new 2026 target right there at 150. So long bull cycle. I mean, we could read this all over and over again. First, to enter an elongated bull cycle. I mean, that's for sure. I mean, if you look at the chart of Bitcoin, especially if you do look at the monthly or yearly or anything like that, it's quite clear that Bitcoin does have its ebbs and flows, and right now it's in an ebb, I guess. Forecast Bitcoin reached 150 in 2006 with potential cycle peak of 200K in 2027. And then, just a slight milli shout out to Lil Wayne. It will be a milli by 2033, which, yeah, I mean, if you say it's going to get, first of all, you got to hit the 150. If you hit the 150, then you're calling about another 7 years or so. That's probably about right. Like, those are the cycles. If you get the NASDAQ up 15 to 20% a year and give that 7 years, obviously some of these cycles, these super cycles for many different things should start kicking. So, yeah, man, I don't mind that call. I mean, if you can support it, because I honestly do think like stocks like Apple and Nvidia also have great upside potential. I mean, even a stock like Google has doubled this year alone. So there's lots of potential in many different areas. And just look at some of the stocks like a Rigetti that you could have had. I remember trading, and you talked about the story there about D-Wave and the dollars. And then same thing with Rigetti. Like, I was long $6 on Rigetti and then got out at 9 same day. I don't even remember. We finally made a move on it. I don't know if it was back in, I don't know. I think, it was right here. This must have been it. Yeah. So I was not in quantum at all, basically, at all. And then, you know, it did this move, and I was like, okay, I'll get into the 50 period. And then in one day, I got long at 6. It was literally $6. That's 580 back there, Jan 13th. So this is not even a year ago. And then it went right up to 9, and we were out that day, and then it ripped in a week up to 15 or 16. So we could have made a little bit more cashish on that one. And then it came back in, and we did not reload it there, and that would have been smart. And that went to 59. So like $6 there to 59, you know, that's a 10-bagger. If you go 10 baggers on Bitcoin from here, then man, you're at $1 million real quick. So anything could happen. When things get exuberant, right? And I think that's what happened in the crypto space, you know, a decade ago, even less than that. That's what happened in quantum right now. And that also happened in another space with Oklo and the rest of these guys with power generation. So we saw GEV march higher on a higher quality name. And then stocks like Oklo started from the bottom. Now they're here, as well as SMR. So New Scale IPO'd guys at like $3 or $4, and then they had that high. Somehow we top ticked it at $57. So you know, there are lots of chaos, and we had one named today, Carvana, where we were live on the show when that went down to $4 on a Morgan Stanley downgrade, and then today it cracked through $400. So I heard Adara chuckle, so I don't know if it's Netflix related or not, but let's go back over to Adara.
Keep an eye on United Health and some of these other health insurance names. UNH did just dip a bit. It's a bit hard to kind of describe what's just transpired, but we do still have U.S. President Donald Trump hosting this press conference. He was asked about health insurance, specifically with regards to Obamacare, and he just said, and I have not been able to vet this yet, but he said that health insurance companies, without naming names, have gone up 1,700 or 1,800% in terms of their stocks, and that he doesn't want to keep paying these health insurance companies, and that Obamacare has basically been a setup for these health insurance companies. So lots of not great things to say here about these health insurers. It is also worth noting he just said that he wants money to be paid to the people with regards to healthcare. So UNH on watch. I do apologize. There's a lot happening here. Hopefully I've been able to summarize it okay for you. But yeah, I need to look into this 1,700 to 1,800% figure. But either way, keep an eye on this stock.
Yeah, thank you, Adara, as always, actually.
Thank you very much, Adara.
There you go.
Now I'm hearing something about, I just heard this word Trump and Elon in the same sentence now.
Let's give the EU fine. 130 million euros.
Yeah, so he's okay.
They fined X, and he basically, I thought, well, he was critical of it, I thought I just heard.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's, I don't know if that, I automatically hear it and I immediately go over to Tesla, but no real reaction there to TSLA. Rivian had themselves a day, I believe. This was the short that we were involved in, and we talked about getting cut up, cut up, yeah, and caught up in it there early and then right back in. Rivian also, oh gosh. Now he's on vaccines. We can pause for a minute here because the guys stopped reading the news. Trump is talking something about vaccines. That's all I can say right now. As Moderna right here trying to get through 27.25. Moderna's actually had a nice day to the upside. I wish, we showed you, and maybe I'll show it to you in a minute again, but you could see this. Like, I really thought that before Trump goes on, he wants to see Netflix and Paramount's percentages of the market. So he made all these opinions not really knowing anything about market share, so that's good. All right, so here's healthcare.
It's so bad.
Shoot first, man. He wants to do what's right, he's saying. That's obviously that. But I was just thinking with the weakness over here that maybe this will give me some more. Netflix is the one that's going to wind up with this. I can almost guarantee that at this point. I cannot guarantee anything. That's the idea. Hold on, Fannie Mae in the pink sheets as well. He's saying nor Warner Brothers, nor Paramount, nor Netflix are friends of his. Okay, so Fannie Mae right there. I didn't want to get to Fannie Mae. I wanted to get to something else. And now I can't. Oh, it was XBI. That's what it was. So here's XBI right here. Quick little shout out to XBI fame. Because this is the biotech ETF, and it definitely one that I've liked in my day here. And I just thought it would pull back more today. It's actually down, up today, which doesn't make any sense. So I got to figure out why that's even up right now. And I just showed you the biotech space. I thought it was pretty weak. But anyways, Trump just saying he has not talked to Jared Kushner at all about this. Kushner, sorry, about this, which is his brother-in-law, his son-in-law.
Maybe. No.
No, maybe it is. I'm just saying, like, we keep reporting all this that, this guy's involved. And it's actually good to recuse himself, actually. Like, if he knows that.
Should, yeah.
Right. If there's a family member that's part of some kind of financing thing here, it is good that he's dismissing himself from that. That's actually smart for him to say that, whether or not he's been in contact or not.
Whether it's true or not.
We'd like him to always speak the truth, but I do hope that that might be the case. So, yeah, Netflix getting a little bit of a bump there. The more I just see all this stuff, like, I think better connections I think there's a better likelihood that this does get done with Netflix, but I don't really know anything. Warner Brothers Discovery here. I just know that I wish I was long this at $7, which we'd come from. So there's a nice move up there for Warner Brothers today, up another 5%. Always good when you're the belle of the ball that everyone wants. So Warner Brothers doing best of breed today for sure in the streaming space. But I think, Adair, if we ever knew, I don't know if any of your graphics actually had I
just want to quick say one thing, because someone said in the chat here, didn't Warner Brothers, and they said, didn't Warner Brothers already respond today they were sticking with Netflix? So specifically, if this is what you're referring to, I'm literally going to read to you exactly what it is. They would review Paramount's offer, but it is not modifying its recommendation with respect to Netflix. So when you have an offer come in, the board can say, we recommend that you take this deal. The board is in favor of this deal. Just because they're not changing their recommendation to take the Netflix deal does not mean they have not rejected. They say they're reviewing this higher bid. But they haven't specifically rejected it. They've just reaffirmed that they still believe in the Netflix bid. That's all. So it's not, I know it's a little bit nuanced, but I wouldn't be sitting here saying that Paramount Sky is completely out of this whatsoever, just based on that statement. So it's like the wording does matter here, and ultimately, I just hope this one works out for the shareholders, to be honest.
Well, it's already shareholders can't lose.
Well, that's not true, because if the regulators put the kibosh on this, and, and nobody picks them up.
But this is the question. If you were long Warner Brothers, I think you want to get out of some of your position right now, just in case.
A Hyundai P. Like, anytime I've ever been involved in a stock that takes, you get, whether it's just pure dumb luck, you happen to be in it when it happens, and if you show me any kind of a reasonable return, I'm taking 80% out, man, and put that cash somewhere else. Because it's not non-zero.
Yeah.
Like, this has happened before. Like, think Spirit Airlines, man. Like, this stuff happens.
I bet you Cracker Barrel, when they report.
When do they report again?
Soon. They're going to Q1 preview. Is it today, Cracker Barrel?
No.
They report tomorrow. So this is an interesting name. Down another 4% here. I don't know how much options are, but we already talked about that this is down at 25-year lows right now. Was it 2000 or 2010? Anyways, President Trump now. I wonder about this name. Some beat-up names continue to work. Target there. I know this is retail, but and then Lululemon. Actually, I was saying that they were due for a run into their report, and I still stick by that, but not today, man. Down 4% today. These names that had some decent runs, giving it all back right there. So there's Lululemon all the way back in, still above that 180. So we like that stock. We're in the money now on Lululemon. So yay me on that one, but still nothing to really write home about yet for Lululemon. Ding.
Trump just finished speaking. The conference is over. I just want to let you know a lot of things were discussed. He did say that Netflix and Paramount are not great friends of his. Like I said, health insurance, tractors, many things were mentioned.
Yeah, we sort of went over that. Thanks, Adara, for all that news. And again, who knows what these stories, the generation of these stories there. And we had Fox, Gasparino there was breaking a lot of those things early on. So if you are interested in that, maybe that's a spot that you could eventually find that story and more through Fox. But I was just thinking, like, Lululemon pulling back into this area with their report, I believe Wednesday or Thursday of this week. You got to watch out for that.
Still looks good.
Still looks fine. Yeah, I'm still fine. I'm still long in. I mean, my target, I already told you, I'm targeting up here, if not anything. Wait to see what happens at 200 on earnings report. And by the way, Joe will win this trade. AEO, we had a great short on AEO. And
we have to clarify something. Because when everybody was on Team Joe for that bet, and then they told us what the actual bet was, and then it completely changed things.
No, we were on Team Sharif.
No, Team Sharif, and then it completely got changed when we found out at the last minute that this has to happen by end of year. That changed everything.
Yeah, and that's definitely not happening.
Yeah, like I think I was the most outspoken because I thought there was no time limit on when it had to get to 26, which obviously, when it's run so much, it's not. I don't think it gets so either.
No, I don't. I mean, I think it got up there on earnings, which is a good reason. And the reason why we bring that up, or I bring it up, is just because of Lulu. It's just we had some good moves higher in ANF as well recently. We had a good move up in Urban Outfitters, and I know they're completely all different than Lululemon. Lululemon, their own beast in ways. But there is also the story as well of the Olympics coming and all of that, which could be a good little boon for a company like a Nike and also a Lululemon. I believe Lululemon is doing the gear for some. They did the winter gear for Canada. I don't know if they're doing the summer gear or not. I think they are.
But it's winter next year. So
yeah. I just don't know. I don't know if they have the deal because it used to be Roots.
I think they always change them. I don't know.
Yeah. So, anyways, Canada's not a needle mover by any stretch of imagination. But just saying that with Nike down, look at this, Adara.
But we're actually good in the Winter Olympics. Come on, man.
Yeah, we aight. Hi, Adara. Normally I hear the ding before I get to talk to you, so that's why I didn't want to. Hey, how's it going? I just want to say, what is the story here? We got Nike down 4% today, Lulu down a bunch today as well. Is there a story in apparel or something that we're missing?
Nothing obvious. I'll look into it, but I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing obvious on Nike,
Thank you
Lulu.
very much, Dara.
Nothing obvious.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, just a little bit of a push down. We can check out UA as well. There's different UAA and UA. So, Under Armour just $4. That's probably down. Yeah, look at that. Almost the exact same percentage, all of these names to the downside there. So I don't know if it's going to be related to tariffs. Is Costco still going? Yeah, Costco now under 900 pretty comfortably as well. That's down 1%. So yeah, we talked about Walmart actually getting hit today. So just a little bit lower, some pressure on some of these retail names. Sometimes they'll go back and forth with consumer confidence and things like that. So I don't know if this was a number-based thing, but if you guys know, yo, what's up, Day Trader Cut and everybody else in the building right here? Yeah, Lulu sell-off ahead as well. Canada is red in the picture. Yeah, I know, that picture in the background. I don't know, I think they like the warmness of it. So that is the thing there. It does look like we're under some sort of a solar eclipse type of thing situation.
Yeah, it makes you feel like it's, I don't know, like some kind of disaster movie, like something about to destroy the earth.
Yeah, the Liberals won. The Liberals are red, so maybe that. Well, the CN Tower, actually, which you can see right there, obviously, hopefully I don't have to point it out, that little top there and all throughout lights up. So like when the Blue Jays were playing, they changed it. There's like, I think, 1,400 LED lights attached to it. So that'll go blue, and the Raptors will go red, and then the Maple Leafs never win, but that would go blue if that happened. Or if it's like National Marijuana Day, maybe it goes a green.
Stop. You know they never.
All right, what's up? They might do that.
I was going to say there's a fun, really questionable Drake song about the different colors of CN Tower, very aptly called CN Tower. That just thought of that.
A song called CN Tower.
Very
Do you know this one? I'm not going to
Very
sing it
not
because it's
Canadian.
bad.
I don't know this
I don't
song.
know this song.
All I know is Somebody Loves Me. That's my joint right there with the party next door.
At Tim Vora is asking, why is Google falling? So
Why is which?
Google Alphabet.
That's at 312?
Yeah, it's actually broke 312 earlier, but there's no particularly bad story here. But from a technical standpoint, like Google, the move has happened. Like the whole value play, new chip competition, like it's just like all of that has played out. And what actually happened was, unfortunately, because this is what I think last week. It's like, yeah, there's your rounded bottom on earnings, but what can it not do? It can't break out resistance. So let me just actually show you where the resistance is. So it's kind of around here at 324, like dump, find resistance, dump, find resistance, find resistance. And then it made a bottom post-move and could not break out. And today it just lost some support. So the market was down, so it's going to be down. That's fine. But when it loses the support, it was kind of like almost like the rest of it. It's extra weak because of the technical break. So like stocks like this, I just feel like it's a healthy pullback in Alphabet. At maybe 300, certainly I don't think it gets to 280, but if it gets to 280, you're obviously I'd be a buyer anyways. 300 I think could be something that we see. So it's kind of trying to start to fill in the gap here on Alphabet. And this just happens. Like the stock was $140 in April. I think it's more than doubled. And if you just look at it from the breakout in September, like it's not even the end of the year, like a single quarter, it's up like 50% from there. And when the quarter's not even over. So it's, like, it's been a rocket ship. You got to respect it. It's 340 now, so I don't know if there's going to be anything new. I just took some more out. Intel doesn't want to get to the absolute low of the day, but I just took some out at the 40 level if it's not going to go any further. And this just showed up, so this was not here. I was about to tell you there was not much on the imbalance locator early, but that's no longer true because Fastly is, for whatever reason, an 8.7 million buy, which is pretty big because that's equivalent to the daily volume or the day's volume on FSLY. I'm gonna double check, maybe we're missing something. Maybe there's some kind of index action with FSLY, because that is a large buying balance on Fastly for the close. So 10 minutes till the imbalances come out. I'm gonna open up tip and see what I can find.
Here's my, this is what I'm listening to right now. Somebody Loves Me, Party Next Door and Drake. Good baby making song right up in here. So what's up to that? My favorite track on that album. All right. Just going through here, NVIDIA, Netflix, okay. Trying to find some names that have some news on it. I did want to check back on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Not really moving around at all right now. If anything, going to cut a little lower right now to the downside. I can't even, I got to put this a little lower on the volume here. I'm not going to be able to focus. All right, that's Fannie Mae. IBIT 90,500. That could have a good run near the end of the day here. Breaking through 5140. Good little move higher into VWAP. Could it go? Maybe. Futures, thanks for coming out again, man. Like, I have no idea what's going on. I'd love to get back to the futures trading, but I don't think we're doing anything right now. We've been really good. Like, we haven't gotten stopped out at the 200 yet. That is our stop out if that does come through. And to Neil's point about those imbalances, if they start hitting and they're not great, we could just get away from this. So I think that's probably what we will wind up doing closer to the future. So I'll put another bid. Let's put something at 35, see if we get that fill, and then we'll figure out what's going on with the futures right now. Did Google sell off because it had a dividend today? Possibly, yeah, but that would have been in the morning. By the wheel, my name is Sir Poopy Paper Hands.
Oh, that's you? You know what? That's the frustrating
Why is
thing.
That your name, first
No, but
of all?
the problem is that YouTube did that thing where
Hopefully it'll go back.
I think it's just us. Just show my chat for a second. I'm going to do it this way because see all it's like at this, at that. So it goes to whatever your YouTube page name is. So you can change it, but everyone has different names in there. Like instead of just me, it's like Neil TTV because that's what we threw it to. So we haven't been able to figure out why this keeps on happening, YouTube. If anybody knows why that keeps on happening, because I don't think it happens to other live streams. But anyways, I didn't know. See, sometimes we're used to seeing certain regulars, and I didn't realize that was you. It's an interesting name. If you happen to have a reason for why you call yourself Sir Poopy Paper Hands, fair enough. Paper Hands, I get it from a trading standpoint. Like that speaks for itself, but the other side of it seems a little bit intense. So FSLY, don't really know what the story is here, but I double checked. We don't have anything in our notes suggesting there's an index action here for Fastly, but it is 8.7 mil. It's only done 9.2. Stock's barely moving on that. But there could be, look, at 350, if this thing has a 10-cent range going into this and comes out the entire day's worth of volume with a buy and balance, it could break out for sure. Just nothing happening yet. Not a heck of a lot happening at all. Insider buying, hyper-stagflation set on FSLY. Even if there was insider buying on this, I don't know why that would cause it to have a big imbalance. Like that's not usually the way that they would get involved. That's like it's more like when you see those big, massive closing imbalances, it usually has to do with more of like index reweighting or sometimes institutional stuff. But even they'd be more nuanced than to just throw it all into the auction. Like that's like the least efficient way. Like a stock's not moving today. Like why would you just throw it into the auction when you could have just been a little bit more, again, more nuanced the last couple of days as it's been weak. But that's just me.
Yeah, no. I just put my stop here at 55.51. So if we break above there, we have like less than 5%, like we have like 5% left of this trade. Like we've gotten our fills, man. We got 2 fills down there. We just got another fill a couple minutes ago, again at 35. We've just been hitting this 50-period moving average as much as we can and holding out for that move, which we got one time. So breaking higher now, whatever, man. TQQ is trying to do it right now. Look, I know I said what's up to somebody in the chat, says what a Hypercube, says what an exciting afternoon of trading. Yeah, I mean, I wish it was. If you want some excitement, man, just join us here on Wednesday when we have the futures trading and the Fed imbalance, Fed note coming through on Tuesday. Then we'll see some crazy imbalances probably, and then we'll also see some movement at 2 p.m. to 2:30, and then 2:30, obviously, when he hits the podium. And I'm talking about Powell. Then that's when the market will start bumping and maybe grinding, and then we'll figure out what that's going to do off of that. Maybe some key levels get hit, and then off to the races goes.
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
No, neither do I. And we'll see if that can come through. And I don't think there's anything wrong also with sitting on your hands just a little bit and letting the trades work out for you. Like, I guess we could have been, like, you need reasons to do something. So when you look back at a stock and you see like where it's moving, it doesn't necessarily mean we could have caught anything. Like, sure, Meta just made a move down, but realistically, why was I shorting it there? I'm not, you know? And so you got to think about those things, about, even though stocks are a little bit moving around, is there a play? And I actually talked about Tesla, you know, getting that cross right here and then possibly starting to go back up to the upside. So if you rode, maybe if you're sitting there at the 50 period, you might have got a little long there in Tesla to come through again, but I don't really see that big of a trade hitting there for Tesla. So that could have been a mover there into your portfolio today. And then we did have some nice talk about, and we went over everything. So whether or not we took the trade or not is one thing, but at least we discussed a lot of moving pieces here this afternoon, right? We brought you this Deere news basically as it was happening, and it's broken down off of those levels. So get some John Deere in your life right here. Get some Tractor Supply, TSCO, on news that President Trump feels that tractors are a little, oops, that's in London. See if that feels that tractors are a little overpriced right there based on, you know, again, the real estate mogul should know a little bit about construction, I would think. So maybe that is true right now. So they had to move down. And then some potash and whatnot talking there. We had some Mosaic talk as well as, you know, we looked at that story today as potentially cutting some supply from Canada there. So maybe Mosaic reaps the benefits. And then we talked about an intraday spike, which hasn't really followed through too much on NVIDIA. If anything, it's right back in as they discuss potentially allowing some chip sales into that foreign state. So yeah, I mean, the stories have been here today. And then honestly, the one move that I think we might have missed, we're going to go to Adair in 1 second as we have 3 minutes now until the imbalances, maybe Netflix, we could have taken it off to 200. So that would have been real good. That would have been about $1 there for Netflix. So maybe a missed, I have to say there's probably a missed opportunity there in NFLX off the 200. That to me is one of the better names because it bounced there at 2, bounced there at 3. So yeah, maybe I'll put my hand up for a missed trade there in Netflix. But other than that, there hasn't really been too much going off here, but Adair maybe has something for us now.
Keep an eye on ORBS. This one jumping around here. Sam Altman set to join this WorldCoin live stream. Now, ORBS, 8 co-holdings. They are a WorldCoin treasury strategy. So Sam Altman said to join this WorldCoin live stream. ORBS likes this catalyst. If I have more details, I'll let you know. Back to you.
This one's got to be the worst. No? Anyways, there's probably worse stocks in this. But in terms of like the treasury names, like you knew this was not a. I don't understand. I just can't understand the psychology behind when you get to like the later innings of, okay, well, everyone wants to do like a crypto treasury play and bring them out there. And at some point, it's like, you know at the end of that cycle, someone's holding the bag, right? It's like, it was like the SPAC cycle. You know there's going to be bag holding, but this is like the most egregious of them. So like maybe there's a dead cat bounce in this ORBS and Sam Altman is going to make it happen. But consider the chart that I just showed you when you consider buying into this and what your targets might be. That's all I'll say. Osman saying, look at Webull. Yeah, I mean, if something's actually moving in 1.5 minutes till the imbalances come out here. Oh, Webull is going to get back to 10. Yeah. Well. Looks like the shoe is on the other foot now. I always want to say it the wrong way that William Shatner in Airplane 2, he says it like he has a better way of saying it, which is obviously completely incorrect, and I always forget that line. But yeah, Webull, the $10 level, it was just prior support, so it's trying to claw back above. This could regain the 50 period and break it back above 10. Ooh, if Webull made a bit of a temporary bottom. I'm waiting patiently for it to either retake that 50 period, or now that it showed you 8 was a bottom, give you another shot at 8. But we're almost there. You're not going to close above $10 today because the market's not doing enough for you here. Let's be real. So I don't know why it just spiked on that news, or if there was news or anything, but it moved like 10 pennies. I don't think it really follows through. And I want a couple closes above $10 before you get there. But that is the level that I've been waiting for an opportunity to jump back in. You know what's weird? Now I can smell that sawdust again.
Oh, you can? Okay. Yeah.
It pops in and out.
I don't smell it this time, but it definitely.
So I'm just gonna tighten up the stop.
We got out of the TQs as well. Just double the out there before the number. So we have just a small little piece left. We'll see. I'm actually bidding 29s, and then we'll see if we get something down there. Might as well. Let's put a bid a lot lower. Let's put a bid at that 55.10 mark. See if we get the day low there for the TQs again. So we'll see if that can come through. But that's gonna be the short. And now we only have here. I gotta call it up. What is Sean? You'll get it. There it is with only now, and we are out. So here are the imbalances right now. So there's that Fastly. So that does stay a bid for some reason. So that's probably shooting up quite aggressively. Well, actually, not really. 1070, 1080. So maybe there is some action there. NVIDIA with a buy. So see you later on that one. So it was a decent job that we were able to get out when we did on the Qs there, because there it goes straight up to the upside a little bit. FXI, Walmart saved, well, maybe not, with a little bit with a bid. Some of the New York names are very difficult. There's market makers there and everything like that, and there'll be some rough moments to get those bids through. And sometimes if there's no action, these will just pair off, and everybody knows that. So GDX with gold today, is that doing anything? I thought we looked at gold earlier. It was up, down right there, GDX. That's the miners. Let's just check out if gold is up or down today themselves. Looks like gold's going to be up or flat on the day. And then, of course, silver always looked at as well. And that is having themselves, I think, a better day. No, worse day, down 0.43. So, metal's not big at all right here today. So, yeah, Joby with a small sell there as well. It doesn't look like there's too much action here in these imbalances. So, muted to say the least, except for Fastly, which is... I guess it's going now. It's not a bad move. So maybe next time we just get long on random imbalance. Excuse me, I'm just chugging this water on random imbalances.
Me too.
Trying to kill 60 ounces. Each one of these things is 30 ounces.
See, this time I actually refilled. I'm going to finish it. I've done a way better job of hydrating today. I just punched out. Looks like, not much was happening. It wasn't like there was a buy imbalance or anything like that. But I think the better chance, there was a moment we could have had VWAP on this, but, not able to get it. I'm going to come in tomorrow favoring, for whatever reason, it just is what it is. I was looking for a long, so just waited till it made a bottom. That doesn't make sense. There's your top, there's your breakdown. Friday is a fail of this break at 42. Why was I not thinking 42 short on this thing? Usually I would be, but I'll come in tomorrow thinking short into this level on Intel. And then if 40 ends up holding underneath, there's a flat bottom break as well. So regardless of why you think the market's weak, I think there's gonna be opportunities to the south side for sure. See some late names being thrown in that I have not seen in a long time. Cindy B just typed in Kodak.
Oh, Kodak.
Why is that up 8.5?
Trump likes to talk about that company, actually, Kodak.
Yeah, but why today? Why today? Is there news on this thing? This was, I remember, obviously this was during the meme craze. Kodak was one of those fun stocks.
Mine reported nearly 4 million ETH tokens.
4 million?
$13 billion worth.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not nothing.
We're at 31, I think. Yeah, 31 now. ETH is at 31. 28, that's a good support on ETH.
Jimmy Kimmel extended for 1 year on ABC.
Yeah.
President Trump probably going to say something about that at some point. I don't know if Disney's moving around. Disney's one of those names where...
Yeah, I was going to say that came out 10, 15 minutes ago. It didn't really move the stock, which is why I didn't mention it. But yeah, it's slightly older.
I mean, if it did come out 10 minutes ago exactly, then it might have moved it a little bit. 108 down to 107.60, but the market's kind of just, there's not much going on. So there it goes, man. Whether or not you agree with that or not, it doesn't really matter. There's Disney downside. You don't have to trade or own the stock if you don't like it. All right, man, there's our stop out, obviously, there on the futures as it just hits 52. And good stop out for us, man. Good stock there. We are able to go long early and short late on the vaunted triple Qs. And it looks like the NASDAQ, so finally we get a little bit of a move, right? But this is like aided, right? Wind assisted here on this move because they're just catching bids from the imbalance locator. Right now, that's enough to obviously get us out. And we don't want to be holding too much of the futures, you know, when some of this stuff goes off. So it looks like AMD, NVIDIA will make its way back through 185. So if we can hold that, man, I think this marches back to $2 bills. If anything, this is the name that I like the most out of the Mag 7s right now. I just think it was beat up. You're down now $25 from its all-time high or so. I like the name. It's NVIDIA. If there was any Mag 7 right now that I think you want to get involved with, if you're not, it would be NVIDIA off of those lows. And you have your out down there at 178 also.
So Cheezers Live, you want it, you got it. For too long, trading meant risking your own money or simply not having enough money to start. That fear of losing kept traders on the sidelines. But it's changing. Why? Because Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. With its limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit your profit target, you keep 70% of the profits, no fear barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading, and it's powered by Trade the Pool. You can visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation. And tomorrow we should have Mitch on. Because it's Tuesday morning, and then potentially, I don't know, well, I was going to say and potentially we'll have Jeff on, but sometimes he shows up, sometimes no. Jeff, always welcome. 355 hit.
Wait a second,
But he's in the count.
Wait a second.
Fastly did not pair off yet, by the way. Just going to throw that out there. It's still almost 7 million to buy here with only 4 minutes to go. So it's actually sticking around, which is a bit surprising to me. In the back of my mind, I'm like feeling maybe we're missing something as to why this would still be a buy imbalance of that side. Most of everything paired off.
Yeah, so on WhatsApp, when I was talking with Jeff there, I was going to say, he invited us to lunch on Thursday, so he'll be here.
Oh, he's here this week?
So that's why I'm not sure. It doesn't mean he's not here tomorrow, but he's here this week in Toronto.
Okay, so he'll be in studio.
So he may be in, well, well, he'll definitely be in studio. So maybe that segment's got pushed down the road. But again, no Brennan today, no problem. We want to say, I hope he's having a great day. There, I want to thank Adara and Sharif for covering the morning portion of the show, of course. And then, Adara, if we have that graphic, why don't we call it up for this week's earnings if you've prepared that. She says, go to @TraderTV Research for like all of these things, right? I mean, I'm like literally referencing it, for that. We used to go to, there it is right here. So, okay, I just want to look tonight. So it's just Toll Brothers. So again, another one of those names. I know Berkshire was in many of the home builders, I think recently out of them, but there's Toll Brothers. Pre-market tomorrow, AutoZone. So we saw Carvana going a little nuts there. So we'll see some used car. That should be good for AutoZone there. GameStop post-market. Last time they released that special little warrant that they had. Interesting to hear maybe some Bitcoin talk if you are excited about that with potentially GameStop move there. The once famed Crackle Barrel logo has been back, so we'll see if that can hit off. Tomorrow night, GameStop is the big one, I think. And is that Dave & Buster's?
That's Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, so we went to basically a child's version of Dave & Buster's in Mississauga this weekend for a Christmas party. That was a lot of fun. Chewy there, Oracle, Adobe, Synopsys. So it looks like Wednesday's definitely a big day post-market for tech. And then you go over to retail along with Broadcom.
Huge Thursday.
On Thursday. So I think there's some big numbers going on there. And we'll definitely be discussing all of that as we move forward with now only 2 minutes left in this wonderful market of ours.
Late push in Micron here. Micron busting through VWAP. But just double checking to see if there was like a buy imbalance related to that in case anyone happens to be trading it and don't see it. So it could just be Micron doing Micron things, up 4%. Micron, I think it was just an upgrade today. Nothing too crazy for them. Straightforward. Bank of America. Oh, it was just a price target raise. It wasn't even an upgrade.
The thing about Micron is they have earnings coming, so people are getting
exactly.
ahead
So
of
next
this.
week they're going to report. I think that is the last major name in this earnings cycle. Right, will be next week. All the bigger names, obviously, this week are happening on Wednesday and Thursday. Micron 4% today into a market that is, unfortunately, down 0.4%. So a red day for the overall market. A green day if you happen to own Micron shares. Although that little memory boost, not so much for SNDK. They're down 1.5. I think they're starting to separate themselves a little bit here. We were talking about that earlier. No longer running together. SNDK not as strong. Micron looking a little bit better, but that just means the next time Micron drops, SNDK is for sure the one you want to short. Like, it's just begging to make a big move back into 190 at some point. At least that's what the chart says right here. So 1 minute to go, everybody. Thanks for a fun one for sure. We got 1 minute to go. Beyond Meat looks good. Someone just says in the chat, I promise you it probably doesn't. I'm sure you're just trolling us.
Product or the?
Either.
Either, yeah, good call.
I don't think the product, whatever, to each their own. The chart doesn't look any good.
No.
So you're not talking about that.
I would disagree there.
Right? Like, I mean, does the meat look better than regular meat? I don't know. Not any time I've ever looked at it. Does it taste better than regular meat? Not to my knowledge. No. At least not when I had it. Is it healthier than regular meat? And then that was also a no. Does it mean that will always be true? Hey, maybe someday they will make something that is just as healthy and tastes just as good. And when that happens, more power to you. Till then, the stock is probably still going under. Is this one going to be automated, or do I actually have to hit the button? Because I'm ready to hit it.
No, I think Andre does it all, doesn't he?
It does?
I don't know, man. I don't want to take the guy's job away from him, man.
I'm just used to hitting it. The closing bell brought to you by Origenics, OGEN, listed on the NYSE. And ring it.
All right.
Beyond meat or anything, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that is that. Well, no, I mean, it's a dollar stock for a reason. I don't think they got very much market share in the fake meat space there for Beyond Meat. I mean, I think at one point it was very, very popular during COVID and all that kind of stuff. I remember Beyond Meat was like, wow, they're into Costco. They got to deal with Walmart and all of that. There it is, man. Thank you to everybody. There it is. Everyone's going to be green tomorrow. There's the chat up on the screen. So, again, you got to be part of the show to be into that chat and subscribing to part of the show. If you do that, hit the like and the subscribe, and make sure you do hit this. Okay, 800 likes. We'll take that. 4,600 of you watching. Yeah, we used to have an after show. We do not anymore. We will be back on major earnings days. So, yeah, maybe we can, Wednesday and Thursday are big days. So I don't know what the plans are for that. But we are excited for Broadcom. That is for sure.
Broadcom's in the morning, though, right, on Thursday? Or is it, no, afternoon Thursday?
Yes.
Okay, so then I don't know how... We have to definitely come up with, we know for sure NVIDIA earnings, we know for sure Mag 7, those big days. Palantir is one that I know is always gigantic, but we want your feedback as to which are the biggest ones out there, because that's the plan.
Oh, what a surprise here. WVE drops an offering. So WVE had a big move today.
We were
There's
just talking about this.
Yeah. So it's not actually going down that much, but they just announced a $250 million public offering right there. So so does VERA. They dropped that one as well. So that's Vera Therapeutics. They dropped it. They look like they're fine at $43 and not moving down that much, but there it is there. So nice little move down there as well. And that's about it. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Okay, there's another one. GPCR just announced one as well. So they're all doing this, but this comes out all the time. So we'll discuss more of this tomorrow and see if there's any sort of an effect here on some of these offerings. But all right. Oh, it's Eagles. Is it that who it is tonight? Is it Eagles Chargers?
You know what's hilarious? I actually need like 6 points or something silly in my other league to go 2-0, which would lock me into beating this guy for the last playoff spot.
Ooh, you need the Eagles. What do you need?
I just need like 6 points or something.
From the D?
Defense.
Oh.
Which is nothing. So I'm gonna get through. It was weird because I was looking at it, I was like, if I should have tanked. I won last year and I was kind of like retooling my team and rebuilding halfway, and I didn't realize that I could have, because if I got in the losers bracket, I would easily win the top pick.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm kicking myself for sneaking into the playoffs against my plan. No, I do have Genty, but I wanted Jeremiah Love.
For next year. So you were already had the first overall pick.
Yeah, I was kind of like, after I win in that league, I always semi-blow it up, and I kind of mucked it by winning. But it is what it is.
Brian Shannon has a regular guest spot tomorrow at 2:45. Was Brian always on Tuesdays? Yeah, he was. Okay, so he's on tomorrow at 2:45, so join us then. All right, there it is, man. Thank you to everybody. It's 4:03. Thank you to Ramin, Andre, Fabian, Adara in the back, Sharif, Joe, and most importantly, thanks to Neil and to all of you guys out there for sure. Brendan's back tomorrow, so get ready for that. More hilarious fun with Brendan Wickens tomorrow on the show.
TWWG.
don't scoff at that, Adara, as we go.
It's the way you said it.
Thank you very much. I try to be a little dramatic sometimes. Brendan's the one that keeps us all tries to keep us all somewhat orderly and organized here. So that's why it's kind of a funny thing to say. But okay, have a nice day. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Ciao, everybody.
Peace.